welcome back to the Mets Feel Good. My name is Andre. How's everyone doing? It is the 13th of February 2020. It's a Thursday night. We're going to be streaming some Netrunner. I hope everyone's doing okay. Welcome. It's really cold in here. There's a door. Sometimes you can see it. There's like a door to a balcony that's right behind that chair. And this room is very cold. I have a heater back there and I turned it on. I'm like, why is it so cold in this corner? And then I realized, which must have been like this for a while, that door to the balcony wasn't closed. It was like a bit open. And outside it's like proper winter and all that was coming in. Heating bill is gonna be something, huh? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Yo, Jessica, what's up? Can't stay, need to sleep. Just want to say your game against Pincel last week was unbelievable. That final game against Pincel after Pat just left, unfortunately he didn't see it, was nuts. It was so cool. I gotta rewatch that. I rewatched my content. That actually brings me into a second point. Yeah, but firstly, everyone, welcome. Hey, get ready for some good Netrunner Clacots. How's it going? Chris, what's up as well? Hey, how you doing? Steven, I hope everything is well. Thomas, hey, bud. Was there no new decklist of the week? But I have an undefeated deck if you want to give it a go. Yeah, we're going to start with this decklist of the week because it's interesting. And from that, actually, I have something prepared. But we'll see how things go from there. Hope you're doing well. Making dinner. Well, I watch a stream, tempura udon. Oh, sounds nice. Hey, Maddie, how's it going? Welcome. I watched the stream last week, and there's an issue, and I probably have echoed this before, but I'm worried I'm starting to talk too quickly. I'm a bit lower energy tonight, which might serve us pretty well, but I'm watching. It's not only that maybe I'm hard to understand. Right now, I feel like I'm talking slowly. I'm putting an effort to talk slower, but I feel... It's not so much a comprehension thing, because sometimes if I'm speaking really quickly, maybe it's hard. Maybe people who have English as a second language, it can be hard to keep up sometimes. But on top of that, I realized, like, I watched the clip back, and there's so often, and I don't know if people call me out on this enough, or it's just become kind of passe where there's no point, where I'll say the wrong thing because I'm thinking of like the next sentence. Like I'm thinking about what we're going to do on a turn, and I say we need to protect R&D. But instead of saying that, I said we need to protect archives, and I put an ice on R&D. Like that happens so much. I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen. We'll see how it goes. At least that's the hope. Yo, DJ, what's up? Up in time to catch a stream. Sometimes overtime has its benefit. Evening all. Hey, hopefully you're doing well. Best of luck at work. Overtime. Maybe that's okay. It was just bad. It took me too long to figure the new triggers out. Sorry? Oh, the last game? No, it's all good. Yeah, I saw your comment. I just responded to that a while ago. We're going to be playing the deck list of the week today. We have some personal evolution to play. I've been working on a deck that I think is kind of interesting. It tests out some of the new cards. Prana Condenser is the big one. And I don't know about that one, but the deck is fun at least. Talking quickly is better than not talking enough. I really appreciate how much you vocalize your thoughts. It's super helpful for someone who is learning like me. I don't want to say that I'm going to talk less. I'm just going to make sure that when I'm talking, I'm expressing myself clearly until I forget about that in the heat of the moment and start talking quickly again. But yeah, I definitely love vocalizing. I think it's the biggest thing. My God, it's I think the biggest thing that attracts me to if I watch streams for other games is specifically if I'm new to the game, or even if I just, want to get better, or maybe worse, arguably, hearing people explain what they're doing, I think is the biggest thing, because I don't know. What else you want to do? Like hanging out is cool, but hanging out and learning something, oh, that's better. And that's like such a big problem, or not a problem, but like something inherently interesting with this game is that it's very hard to get better because it's a solo experience. You can talk to the person you played against after the game is over and say like, what's up? And they said like, oh, you should have pressured this, or if you did this at this time, I was in a bad spot, or if you kept your SMC on the table, you threatened clot, stuff like that. But being able to realize why you're doing things and explain that to other people, it's kind of like why I like team tournaments, or sitting down two people and playing Jinteki, stuff like that's really cool. Yo, Jeremy, what's up? I hope I'm not lat for some Netrunner. Heyo! Yeah, this is the deck list of the week. How's it going? This is Coffee and Chameleons. Came fourth at Spanish Nationals. There's actually a whole bunch of nationals that happened recently. We're getting a bunch of, there's G&K's nationals. There's a lot of stuff getting posted. And this is a cool deck. There's some soft spots in it, definitely for me, because it is a chameleon deck. It's also playing Paula's Cafe, which is a 3 of in this deck. That's a unique card, but it's really important we get this early. And this is a card that's not easy to be tutored for. It's not like a connection, of which we have many, and we have a hostage to go find that. There's a lot of moving parts in this. It's like a pretty intricate shaper deck. Hopefully it loads in a second and we'll talk about it. Yo, Padraig, what's up? This is a pleasant surprise, tossing and turning a lot, so maybe the stream might be some relaxing experience. Hopefully you get enough sleep. We'll make this really boring, so it'll be easy. Don't worry. Hope you're doing well. Talking everything out is generally good, plus a mix for a good drinking game. Yeah, tell me about it. I even forget. I looked at the drinking game rules, and I feel like there's a lot of things from the drinking game we've evolved. Like, sure, the rules might just change, but there's a lot of those things we don't say anymore, or don't do as consistently. Gotta play to your outs though, huh? I'm shocked it's okay called Okay Boomerang. Yeah, so Boomerang is a really strong card. It's specifically super cool with abilities, because this is a targeted ability. When you install this, you have to mark a piece of ice. And the problem with that is if you're not doing it intelligently, if the ice isn't res, sometimes you just hit a bad ice. And one of the cool things with Boomerang is you can install it from hand with cards like Masterwork from the top of your deck, if you're lucky, with cards like Prognostic Q Loop. But Shaper has their own tricks in the shape of this 3 of Paul's Cafe. Paul's Cafe, you can keep the Boomerang on there and basically only install it when you need it, which is huge, because it's not only a really cool panic button, but you can now intelligently use it. So they res the Surveyor, you break it for like what? Maybe free, considering we are playing Unique Connections. This is also a really powerful card. It's kind of like the fair reimagining of what's it called? Personal Workshop, which is a wildly powerful card and actually did show up in a lot of different builds. It had a lot of issues. Stimhack was way too good with it. This card, Stimhack, is still really good with it. And this is where one of my complaints about this deck, maybe before I play the game, you know, my complaints, whether they're legitimate or not. This is Lat. Lat is one of the new IDs. It gets free card draw, which is cool. There's a lot of the Shaper IDs kind of, in my mind, fill the same space. They do very similar things, right? Like Cabanesic means you can set up a bit faster, which is cool for consistency. Lat means you have a link, which is good. Cabo has a link too, but you get that extra card draw if you want, and you have some safety against punitive and some damage decks. And then you have Haley, which lets you hit double install, which is really good when you have a lot of things to install. We have a lot of things to install. A lot of programs, 13 resources, a lot of them one-of, so it's easy to get these down at the same time. And you can use Paula's for 1 credit cost extra, actually a bunch extra, on the corpse turn. So sometimes this is actually really good with Haley. But we're not doing any of that. We're playing Lat. And Lat, I think, is a cool ID. Free card draw is one of my favorite stuff in Netrunner because I don't like clicking to draw. But I think the biggest thing is that Lat is really shit with Stimhack. And we have one. I've actually never seen a Lat deck that plays Stimhack. The problem is if you have no ways to boost your hand size, if you play a single Stimhack in a Lat deck, your hand size is 4. And if the corp just ends their turn with 5 cards in their hand, which a lot of times they do, it's not always possible, but a lot of times they do that, your ability is going to be off the whole game. And that sounds so rough. So rough. Yo, Rob, what's up? Can we decide to lose to acids and cut the scrubbers for Stimhack? Fuck no. We can't play Stimhack. That's a problem. I think these scrubbers we can definitely cut. I would just cut 1 scrubber off the top to play, what's the name of that criminal that increases the res costs? I think that's a really good start. I also don't like Guru Devinder. I'm not sure which matchups this is good for. We already have Film Critic, which doesn't show up as a restricted card for some reason. Yo, Tobal, what's up? Seems like this deck of the week posted is kind of credit poor. This deck list of the week seems incredibly poor. And they also said specifically with this deck is that this deck has some issues. It needs to be optimized. I think Flameout is a super cool card, and I'm really happy to experiment with this. Mind you, one of the big things this deck does is it plays, like, its Breaker Suite is nutty. It's basically just Boomerang and then Chameleons, which you have some really cool tricks with. Chameleon on top of Flameout on top of Cyber Trooper Talent, which is really good to loot, which is really cool. Some people in the comments said that you could also maybe put a Dream Net in here to get a bit of economy. It's an expensive card up front, but we will have 2 link pretty consistently, so you can get some good value from it. We do have the Rozeki Drip and Palongis, which is cool, but we're gonna have to shuffle our cards around. This is also a pretty good candidate as a deck to maybe consider playing Brahmin, but I don't know if it's necessary. 6 to 8 March you can find on ABR. We're doing a King of Servers and all else fails. You're in sunny, lovely Barcelona. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. That's soon. It's in a couple weeks. At Shaper, there'll be some relaxing dirtling. I managed to pick up a full collection there a few weeks back, so I'm on a serious Netrunner kick right now. Hell yeah. How'd you find that? I take it that's a used collection. Yo, David, what's up? I need decks to destroy Gym Runner. Maybe it's this one. Maybe we're gonna be playing at least one other deck today. This deck looks cool though. It definitely doesn't have that much money. Like, we're on 1 daily casts, a Beth, Sure Gamble, and those are the only hard econ cards besides Rozeki that we have. Shapers a lot of times can get away with that, but a lot of times Shapers will have 2 or 3 stim hacks just to make sure they can contest a remote before their Rizekis give them enough money to counteract the loss of tempo of installing them, and also to install things cheaply. And we have a lot of things to install, and that's kind of the problem with Chameleon. It's so click intensive, and maybe for some reason that's why Haley is good. Maybe that's why Lad is good, because we just save our clicks. We also aren't using all our influence, which is wild, but hey, I'm excited to try this. It's definitely interesting, and this is the sort of list you want to keep up on the side of the page, because I'm not going to remember it. That's not right. I would switch one scrubber with Fencer Fueno. Oh boy. Oh boy. How's it going, Whitest? Jeff, what's up? Super Corridor fixes the hand size problem once you find it. Oh, Super Corridor gives you hand size, and it's technically an economy card. I think they called out Super Corridor as not being good though, and I don't know. Oh yeah, this is an economy card, and it gives you hand size. Okay, maybe that's justified everything I've said, but this card, I don't know if it fires consistently. It's like so wild. It's so wild. Coffee Chameleons. Ethical hacker or freelancer. Is Sunny an ethical hacker? Do we have 2 ethical runners? I do want to make some changes though. I don't think we need 2 scrubber. Maybe we will just lose to asset spam. We're just gonna hope we don't run into it. And I think we want to play, what's the name of that criminal? You know the guy. How are we picking up a link? Yeah, Trooper. Seabag, what's up? Saw Az running Paula's today, made installing Amina and Mackler not so rough. I've seen that before, actually. I've seen some cool Paula's lists. I think they're really cool. And Boomerang on in Az is also like some hot shit. Jason, what's up? Definitely don't play over 45 cards in this deck. Oh yeah, I guess we would be, but we'll be fine, right? Is it actually bad maybe to play that guy? I keep forgetting his name. It's the same guy as the chip, Hernando, because you want to keep their money calculable, but maybe if they have a lot of money, it brings them down to our shitty money, so Super Corridor fires. I don't know. I'm not confident how this is gonna go, but that's mostly because this seems a bit intricate to pilot as opposed to like some of the more straightforward stuff. Yeah, it is Cortez. It's a fake economy card. You don't aim to build around it. Yeah, I'd see it. Like if it fires twice, it's a free console, but consoles usually have to be a bit better than that. Shout out BCom if possible. If it means anything, CTZ and the Scots like Seamus and Alice are coming. This is Barcelona in March 6th to 8th. Yo, John, what's up? Hey, how you doing? One of the guys here in Ireland had no community where he was playing and sold it all for a great price. Actually managed to get a sealed copy of Downfall as well with that. Hell yeah. Yo, finding cards right now is like, it's one of the easier ways to get into the game. And you can always find people selling collections of things, regardless of, I don't know, people need money. People don't play anymore for many reasons. It's a really good thing to find. Congrats. For 4 credits for 2 MU and 1 hand size is a nice price. The economy's a bit extra sweetness. It's not bad. But like that's a very comparable thing to what's it called? That boxing one that I think rotated. Nobody liked that. You say you don't put in my shaper? Yeah, whatever. Thanks, you too. Opening hand, we have the Boomerang. We have one of our econ cards. An early flameout is cool. Mind you, this is a Hushik deck. It does have 3 of these and has so many 2 credit cards. We're seeing 2 in our hand right now. This one doesn't really count. We could do a lot worse than this, but I think we might honestly want to... New Angeles Hall, fuck. We have no currents. Shapers really don't. So if they scarcity spam us, we're in a really bad spot considering we have a lot of what's it called, of resources and no currents. We're also not good at, like, our multi-axis is dependent on us setting up because of Hushik, but it also could be the sort of deck that we played before that really cares about Link. And we can get 2 Link. It's way easier for us to do worse than this, but I'm gonna mulligan for Paulos and a gamble, hopefully. Oh wow, we hit Paul's Gamble and Rizeki. That's kind of one of the best openings, and a Diesel. Oh, that was really good. Yeah, I think it might be the reverse trace deck, Thanos. Gauntlet, I love Gauntlet. Gauntlet's also like a pretty cool card. It was only 1 influence. It's actually still is only 1 influence. It's still around. All right, they didn't play a current. It's pretty good. We don't know what this could be. Easily could be Aryabhata Tech. Could be a Rashida. I feel like we're a shaper, so we do shaper things and set up. So this is actually more expensive. I forget how this card works because I've never played it. Oh, we also have the artist. Okay. So do we play the artist and then free play Rizeki? I think we do. It's unfortunate we're not using both abilities on the artist, which would kind of be ideal. So we're basically installing this for 2. It's good. It's just like some of the better economy we have. This is technically an economy card and our deck needs it. So we'll get the Rozeki down. If this is a Rashida, draw 1 card. I didn't even plan that. Excuse me, we're gonna have to plan that from now on. Just a Maryland. Okay, cool. 1 influence. Doesn't tell us much about the deck. Maybe they're going towards Alliance. And now they have big money, and this is NBN, so we have to respect things like hard-hitting news. We do have that econ coming in. We also have misdirection if we need to get rid of a lot of tags, but we haven't really seen what their deck does at all. I didn't even check if they mulligan. They kept their hand, so I don't know. I don't know if we need a face check now. We could always like boomerang face check, but setting up seems pretty okay as well, and we can actually install these other copies. Cyber Trooper Talent, that's fine. I imagine we just want to set up. We're not going to get a lot of value from the artist. We can always put this down, put the boomerang on it, and then click this for 2. It seems okay. So now we can install this mid-run, and for the same cost, because it installs it for 1 credit less for each unique connection. So far we have 1. I think we're going to gain 2. Money actually might not matter, but hey, we're planning to have the same amount of cards in hand to fire that. And 13 credits, we're a bit far away, but at least we get this down for 2 credits. Isn't Paulo's Cafe and the artist a non-bow? Oh, this is only 1 less, not 2 less. Sort of, could be. You can have a choice what you install. Some things you don't want on Paul's. And this seems like something we might actually want to check. We want to enter turn with 5 cards in hand, ideally. I'll gain the money first. I don't see in what world we wouldn't gain the money. We can check what this is. I'm really worried this is an Aryabhata. Also, door-to-door deck could be a thing. Yeah, it is an Aryabhata tech deck. So it's going to be either a lockdown deck or a counter surveillance. Surveillance sweep or door-to-door. And having Link is probably one of the better things we can do for that. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of way to make money right now. We did interact with them. So we could do credit. We could do credit and install Cyber Trooper Talent, which is not amazing. We always have this in hand. I'm just going to take the money. They're really not making us do anything. Oh, Film Critic is good too. They might be on Bologna. This deck doesn't really have a really good way to score, so I'd assume they're playing a lot of 5-3s, and Bologna is a defensive 5-3, which helps with their like trace lockout plan, so having the Film Critic down is good. It also makes Paul's a bit better. Paula's. Accidental +1, we take those. That was planned! I know, it wasn't. Someone in our community mentioned it. It's been annoying me because I'm not sure. Actually, weird rules question. Renner runs HQ, loses the Konjin side game, so encounters Susano. Where does the run continue? HQ or Archives? Archives, I'm assuming. Because if the subroutine fires, you're now running on Archives. Alright, so this is either another Aryabhata or a Maryland. I think if we don't run, we can kind of set up a wee bit. If we get a Film Critic down, it's worse. This is only paying 1 less? I guess that's Kate's ability. Getting the Link down seems good. I think we can just set up a wee bit and end up with 5 cards. So we can do install. That means we can draw once for sure. Ooh, Caddy is actually way better than the Film Critic this early. We don't want to show we have this because it shows our restricted cards, so they don't have to worry about certain things. This deck only has 2 SMCs. Hopefully we get by with a single Boomerang, which is good against a lot of their ice. Actually has a lot of subroutines. I'm thinking of specifically like the virus one. If we install this, we want to hit it. So if we run, we have to respect C-Source. So lastly, we can get 2 credits or we can install a card. I really don't think this is going to be good anytime soon. So we could always just take a credit and throw out a Paul's, or 2 credits, I mean, take out a Paul. And then we still draw a card, yeah. This is going to be so good too, because a lot of their ice has multiple subroutines. The Macrophage has 4 subroutines. They can raise that for 7. First day will be KOS, second day will be Swiss, Sunday will be Top Cut, random ID tournaments. Whoa, this is a huge event. They're making mats, tokens, and cards. Is there a website or anything for that? First click they're drawing, they did shuffle Maryland back in. It looks like they're really setting up for this remote. Again, Boomerang good against 1 ice, not so good against 2. And I don't know if they have a really strong way to score an agenda out. There's the scarcity, so I'm glad we got some stuff down early. Fuck. So we have no way to cheat out Hernando. This is only for hardware or programs. But our money will soon be better than theirs. And we did install this, which is probably worth its weight. Okay, yes, it's on always be running. Okay, cool. So we want to end our turn with 5 cards. I guess we can always just go host it. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff is going to be pretty expensive. Getting this down gives us a maximum hand size +1. This is actually maybe actively bad, because the cool thing is about ending with 6 cards in hand is that at the end of our turn we discard down to 5 so we can get a forced draw. Now we have no way to do it, so we actually have to install our cards. Installing our cards is probably how we win, but you see where the issue is here. Do we install this for 4? Yeah, probably. We probably want to install both of these for 4. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to jam soon. I'd rather play the Hernando just because it's annoying for them. We didn't do both of our economy abilities, which kind of sucks, but... Ooh, this for 5. I don't know about that. That's what I figured, but Konjin says in parentheses that if the run doesn't end after the encounter, you finish encountering Konjin. Oh, is the text more subtle than that? Maybe. They have a lot of money. So these are Aryabatas. We want to clear those for sure. We'll go trash some stuff. This could easily be a Maryland coming back. There's an Aryabata, so that's what, 2 down? That's pretty good. Honestly, I'm kind of scared. Like, I kind of want to take the caddy money, so at least if they trace us, it's a bit hard. And they went down to a few cards in hand, so they're playing around our ability. I don't know what server 3 is, but they haven't rezzed it. Is it the 3rd Aryabata? That one that gives you credits for, like, satellite, whatever? That rotated, right? I think we're just gonna click for credits. We're really not doing much, but I do respect this sort of lockout deck. But with 2 Aryabatas out, I don't know if we need to. Maybe I'm a coward. I'm assuming we're being a coward, especially with a misdirection. Okay, so it looks like we have 4 advances on what's probably a sandbox. So this makes sense because the deck definitely runs macrophage, so running 4 of these makes a lot of sense. Once we trash the Jeeves, they still have a lot of work to do, and their economy falls apart pretty quickly with Hernando. At this point also, we can run and face check. Like, they spend a lot of money rezzing their ice, and we're going to have enough money than them. If this is a macrophage, like, it really doesn't matter that much. We just have to make the last one, which is the Purge, which we have a link. They can spend 3 credits on it maybe, but... Okay, so they did trash the scarcity to play surveillance sweep. So now we have to trace first. This is where the combo of the deck is. We can force them to play this over and over again, but also it's very easy for us now to dump down our resources, or sorry, dump down our, what's it called? Our, yeah, resources. So I think we could just probably play Cyber Trooper. We could probably play Film Critic, and then we could just hit Caddy and then hit the money off of this, and we get a free card draw. And now, man, we have all these connections. This is actually really good. Yeah, I think we just want to host this on here, but we want to get the free card draw if we can. Hey, the money is actually working. They're not forcing us to do anything, but we can now run. BCom makes me sad because their organizer asked Kel from Trace 5 not to come because a couple other runners have beef with him and threatened not to go. Oh, fuck. I don't know anything about that. What is BCom, by the way? We want to trash that Jeeves, probably. Oh, okay, maybe not. But if they put something in the remote, we definitely want to trash the Jeeves, just because they probably have more 4-2s in their deck than 3-2s. They only have access to a couple 3-2s. Okay, all right. What are we doing here? We can put the SMC down. With Chameleon, it'll be 5 strength, and a lot of their ice is actually 6 or 7 strength, specifically the macrophage, which is hard to deal with. They're going to spend a lot of money rezzing him. I don't even know what we can do. Like, this only gives us access to Chameleon, and we have Boomerang, and we have Gordian Blade. Gordian Blade does come down at a pretty high strength. It comes down at 4 strength and keeps its strength, so there's probably a lot of stuff we can get through. We just can't get through sentries. I think we can probably just do SMC and run the remote. At least they'll spend a lot more money than we will, I'm hoping, because Hernando is a hell of a card. Paulo's Cafe only works with unique connections, so Film Critic won't contribute. Oh, very true. Very, very true. All right, so this is awkward because we have to trace first. So I think we're actually going to go ahead and SMC out of Chameleon. Make it a barrier, has 5 strength, and we'll just break 1 subroutine. And they spent 4 credits on this, mind you. So there's very few things we can get through. There's the macrophage, so we actually can get through this. They also spent a lot of money on it. They're down to 10 credits. They started their turn on 20. So I just need to think what the math is. We could always, like... We don't want the first one to go through. We don't want the last one to go through. So I think we can just boomerang this. It's probably fine. The other option is to like install the Gordian Blade, which would come down at 4 strength, and we still have to pay like a fair bit of money. 2 of these traces really don't matter. So I think we're just going to boomerang it, which is super cool. So Paulus is going to install 1 hosted card, which will be the boomerang. It's going to be installed in here. Continue to counterize. We're going to break 2 subroutines. So we'll do the purge and end the run. And then the other 2 they can trace, which doesn't get them any money. We don't lose any money because of Aryabhata. And we're through. So what could this be? Easily could be a Maryland. It's another Jeeves. That's totally fine. We spent some resources to get in this deck for sure, but we don't need to trash this Jeeves. We don't even need to trash this Jeeves right away. What's the chance that we can get our super corridor down? Why is it asking for 2? Oh, weird. We want to end our turn with that many cards in hand. This is pretty good. From here, how good are we set up for Hushik? We're actually pretty good. We have 2-2, 2-2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can Hushik pretty well here. We've already interacted. If we do the Hushik, we're not going to get a free card draw. I don't think we have to. I don't think they're going to ice up R&D next turn. We can just set up for another Hushik. So we could host the super corridor on there, hit Caddy, but then we don't get the free card draw. So I think we just hit Caddy. We could also run HQ. I don't think so. Chameleon comes back to a hand when your turn ends. How does that interact with Lat? I guess we can choose the triggers. Okay, so we'll do this first. I do want to host this. Then we'll do this first. Hold on. And then I'll get my Lat draw now, right? Yeah, we can do that. Stay on page. I'll do Chameleon after Lat to get the draw. Oh, I totally forgot that they could purge for 4 and get an extra click. So this Jeeves does have to die. And we kind of want to run the remote again. So the Plongi is relevant versus the Macrophage. It's also so click intensive. Like, you see why this is so click intensive. Like, we have to spend a click for the Chameleon every turn that we want to run, which is hard. No Lat draw? Why not? So add Chameleon to your grip when your turn ends, and this says when your turn ends if you have the same number. Why would that not happen? So we definitely have to trash the Jeeves at least. I think we can just trash the Jeeves. Lat and Chameleon are the same timing? Yeah, so it's our turn, right? You're not sure we can do the Lat draw. I would assume it's still our turn because it's our turn ending, so we can choose the order of triggers? I'd have to look that up. Okay, we could contest this remote. This is annoying. They're the same timing, but the conditions were met for the trigger at the right checkpoint. Yeah, it seems like it's up to us to decide how that works. Okay, so they're gonna play with low cards in hand, which is good. Yeah, okay. Hey, Mark. Yeah, it looks like we can choose the order. I think we can let this go through. We definitely need to destroy the Jeeves. I think the Jeeves needs to go just so they can't score another one and they can't get value purges with the sandbox. Okay, so we could take the Caddy money because we've run. We definitely want to get the Chameleon down on here just so we can set up for the Hushik. If we do that, we're going to get our free card draw, but I hate how like I'm playing less aggressively just to get the free card draw. Like, I'd rather probably just draw cards. Are we worried about hard-hitting news? This is only during a run. C-Source would be bad. We'll take the credits. I guess we're worried about C-Source. They only have 3 cards in hand, but... And this is not that good against the deck. The deck has a lot of strong ice. Like, we're doing so little this turn. We could have drawn once and put the Plongi on. It's probably better than the Artist. Whatever. Money matters. We need to have more money to do the traces. I think it's the same timing as Joshua B. Citadel Sanctuary ruling. I could be wrong. I don't even remember that ruling. What was that ruling? Okay, they have a lot of money now. We could go for the Hushik. The Hushik forces them to play this again, which is kind of cool. And they also didn't jam the agenda, so I'm assuming it is a 4-2. So let's just see for the Hushik. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good enough. We could also just SMC for like a Palangi, which is probably all we want. A double Chameleon is also kind of interesting, but I think we'll just SMC for Palangi. Oh, sorry, I meant to say Rozeki just for the 2-coster. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can install the chameleon for free. Costs us a click. Whatever. We're running into some trace punishment if we can, but we do have the misdirection in hand. So on axis, install host a card. We'll get the chameleon on table. Oh, sorry, I did the wrong one. I guess we'll call barrier in case we want to run HQ. I don't think we will. So we have 6 cards. We have enough for Bologna, but most importantly, we have Film Critic, and we access nothing. Maryland, Hedge Fund, Newshound, Macrophage, Archangel, and none of this information matters too much on the basis that we're going to shuffle the deck anyways. So we could trash a Maryland for 3, but I really don't want to. If they put the Maryland in the remote, it's fine. If they put it somewhere else, it's not a good draw. So we'll access a Hedge Fund. Ooh, that's not great. Close enough, I guess. Woof. Okay. From here, I think we can probably just draw up. I think we need the money from this because we spent a lot on that turn, unfortunately. But yeah, it's like really clumsy just because we have so many things to do before we can even interact with them. Doesn't win turn end fire like the supplier. You can't get the daily cast money since it was installed during the start of turn. I don't think those are the same sort of triggers because one of them is dependent on it being somewhere at the start of the trigger. Like it's kind of a cost. I don't know if that makes sense. Are we allowed to do it because we're allowed to do it with safety first? I don't even know how to do with safety first. Okay, card in server 4, card in server 6. So this is probably a Maryland. This could be an Arya Bala Tech. There's only one left. Contesting this remote, we really need to find the boomerang. The boomerang is all we need. Boomerang chameleon. If we make this a barrier, like it's so hard to deal with 7 strength ice. And we have 2 more Hushiks in the deck as well. Flame Out's a good card, but we're not actually spending money. We are literally not spending money to make our runs. And they're not resing ice, which is unfortunate. I would love to get through here. Toon Link just isn't doing it. Man, this sucks. Let's draw once more. I think we can't contest the... Okay, now we can. But like, this is also really rough. Like if we had... There's no way through this besides tracing through this. Like we're just clicks short of setting up. Because we need to get the boomerang down to deal with this, unless we want to trace, which is kind of expensive still. Oh, I just didn't realize we didn't have this down, but I don't think it matters. And then we also have to deal through this. Like, we just need to install so many things on this. And this is only once a turn, right? Yeah, the first card you install this way. So, like, we're actually going to pay full cost for that? Oh, that's rough. And if we install a card, we don't draw a card? Oh, that's also rough. I think we want to draw into a Hushik. It's probably better than the money. We don't need another Paula's. Freedom is cool. Yeah, it is a Maryland. It looks like they're going to score a Beal here. All right, they're on game point. Pressuring HQ is also pretty good once we have this, but we're going to end up using it, which is unfortunate. They did draw up a fair bit, but I think we want to run HQ. It also will force them to use Hernando credits, which is good. We also could put the chameleon on here. I'm just going to run. We need to bring their money down just because if they have no money, the traces aren't really scary. We might overspend some, but it's kind of all we need. Also, currents would be kind of cool. Oh, I shouldn't have hit that yet. Okay, so install program. It's really shitty that we're using this now. At least they spend like, what, 4 credits on this. That's the reason why we should have put the chameleon first. SSL endorsement. Yeah, we'll host it. If it doesn't clear the current, though, that's unfortunate. I don't know why it's telling me every copy of Boomerang. Okay, so now drawing is some value, and now we know that we actually could, in theory, win off of what's it called? Actually, no, it's better that we have film critic this, right? Because this is 9 credits, this is 2. Yeah, sorry. I forgot what I was gonna say. A Plongi, we can contest this. We can make this a Kogate. We actually should get the Plongi down. I think we're in an okay spot. I think we can now pressure the remote. That was a really good swing. Let's just host a bunch of shit. We want to host down to 4 cards. Just to get the free card draw. Okay. And we can be on 12 credits? No, we actually can't get it. We're going to gain 2. It's less click intensive than Caddy. All right, we just want an SSL. Wow, they have good money. Trash film critic, freedom through equality, run archives. Yeah, we just can't trash this on our own. We have no way to trash this. Yo, Davis, it's been a while. Long time no see stream. Thanks for dropping by. How you been? How has it been? 2020. Exciting year for Nisei. Not that 2019 was, right? All right, in our deck, we have a 1 in 10 chance of drawing into a Hushik, which could easily close the game out. This card here doesn't really threaten much. It kind of looks like a Maryland. Sorry, not a Maryland, like a Rashida, but we haven't seen this so far. But if they score another 3-2, I guess they could maybe close the game off in 15 minutes, but it doesn't look like the sort of deck that runs it. With Palangi, we can get through a lot of things in a row. There's actually a chance we can contest the remote flat out if we do like Palangi this into a code gate and we just break through everything with code gates. Unfortunately, if we do put our Gordian Blade on the flame out, we're in a pretty bad spot because then we lose it, and I don't think we have any recursion. But this is kind of okay. Also, maybe we want to pull this Film Critic off just so we steal another agenda. We don't give them all the credits. I think we could run this. We also could play a Current. That actually makes all this ice really shitty. Yeah, we probably should play a Current and run this. Why didn't we consider that? I'm gonna take 2 credits first. Busy as hell, the pipeline be rentless. Good holiday times we had though. Yeah, things have been really good. This is a prime target for the boomerang. Unfortunately, oh, they spent 7 credits on that. Yeah, we're gonna have to basically Palangi this. So, install hosted. So we're at 13. We're now 12. Pretty good. Install hosted card. Unfortunately, this is gonna get purged. So I guess we're gonna make this a code gate. This could actually be a Cyberdex Fire Suite, which I think they should purge now if it is. So we're gonna make this a code gate. Then we're gonna boost and break for 4, which means we can continue. The IP block, we're going to have to trace through. We could put down the Chameleon. It's gonna cost us 3 credits though, which is miserably expensive, and 4 credits after that. It's gonna cost us a lot of money. Thinking. So I gotta think. We gotta think. So they're gonna start their turn with 12 credits. We can end up spending a lot of money on this. And then if they succeed, we still have to clear the tag, which means that spending 4 for this is not that much worse than spending 2 in a click. It's only have a chance to purge until you use Palangi and finish breaking. Oh yeah, but we installed this on the approach. You're right. We could have done it on the encounter. We fucked up and we gave them a window. I think we might as well just break this. For this, we're gonna need like what, 3 credits? So this is 3 credits. Bologna we could steal, which would I think we can steal with this, right? Can we steal? How does it work with Film Critic? If you put another agenda, does it trash the old one? Or you just can't do it? I forget what the ruling on this was. So we install this 1, 2. So it's 3 for the install, 4 for the break. That puts us on 2 credits. Then we can do 1, 1 to break the end of the run. Then they can purge, which gives them 4 credits. It's bad for Harding News. Yeah, I think if we want to contest this, this is a bit of an overcommit, I think. One of MU used up. Okay, well, we don't need this. Okay. So, this retains a strength. This is good. 5, no thank you. Mass strength of macrophage. Definitely trace the IP block? I don't know. I don't know about that. That wasn't that much. This wasn't that much worse. And then we have to break 1 code gate subroutine. I think we'll do the end of the run, and then they're gonna fire everything else. Forgot my cyber trooping calculations for Gordo. Yeah, it's good. They're gonna make 4 credits off of this though. Freedom plus Film Critic is another weird combo in the deck, yeah. But they just want unique resources. Or connections, I mean. I don't think any recursion. Losing this is like kind of a bummer, but not the worst bummer. Beal. Okay. Well, 1 Hushik will end it. They're playing that again, which is good. From here, did we already click this? Yeah, I think we did. So C-Source getting this trashed is like awkward, but at least it'll still be in archives. We have no way to generate economy. Next turn we'll start with 4 credits, which is enough to clear all the tags from hard-hitting news. So this is fine. This is okay. Like, this server gets really bad once we get a boomerang down. Having a bit more money so they could trash the Marylands actually would do a lot, because I think they've got like a fair, like 12 credits from Marylands that we aren't able to contest. Chris, what's up? It's Card Game Nostalgia Week. I found my 2015 Conquest String Champion, Matt, and then I wandered to my favorite Netrunner stream. Ah, welcome! Yo, those old games are still good. Every once in a while, huh? This is fine. Drink. That is one, but you know what? That's good. It's a good attitude. All right, so we got to recover. I think we just want to pull this off the Film Critic. I don't think we have any reason not to. Well, actually, yeah, we don't need to, and we'd rather set up because they're not jamming, which is good. So finding a boomerang would be good. Ending at 4 cards would be cool. That's probably how we're going to win this game. So let's just get some money. Let's get 4 cards in our hand. Getting this down, we can install it for 1 credit. It probably will save us money in the short run. In the long short. Wait. No, this is worse. We almost fucked up. So we're gonna host this here, and then we're just gonna pause it this turn before we end our turn, and we'll take 2 credits. The artist is doing well, but I think the economy of the deck isn't doing well, so whatever. That was free, right? Yeah, 0 credits is a good amount of money to spend on that. And also, this helps us a fair bit when it comes to Hushuk, just because it's almost always going to be there. This card's really good with Chameleon. Unfortunately, Chameleon's just so click intensive. We need like a, what are they, auto scripter, but that rotated. All right, that's the remote. All right, that looks like a double surveyor. Heaven forbid border control. I don't think we've seen enough cards to begin to count influence. We've seen Maryland's, which there's probably more HB cards, so they don't pay the influence on Jeeves. But we're at the point where we can largely just like Chameleon Hushuk, and we should be good. Issue here is obviously is if this is a macrophage, that sucks because we have to do the trace first. And we can't deal with that unless we find a boomerang. If we find a boomerang, we're like absolutely golden. And they're playing around us, which is cool because NBN is scary when they have cards in their hands. So that's kind of an advantage to us. Oh, okay. Yo, y'all want to just win the game? Do you think we just want to win the game here? I think we can just win the game. We won't have Bologna money, so we won't win the game. So hopefully they score Beal and then we win the game. Yo, Austin, what's up? Probably better to use the artist install for flameout if you're going to pause something else. Yeah, we could have paused something else that turn. You're right, I didn't consider it, but I don't even think we need to pause a super corridor. It doesn't do anything but sides maybe be free. Actually, this could be free. This also could be an Ariabata or a bait. And they're drawing cards. So far, we've seen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can assume they're on 2 more Cyber Sandboxes. I'm assuming they're an 11 agenda deck. Maybe 2 SSLs, 3 BLs, 3 Sandbox. Maybe, I don't know what the math is. Another 2-pointer? I think we're just going to go in and try and win the game. I will take the money first. Money, please. And hopefully this wins. All right, so this is something that we could either Chameleon, which would be totally free, which sounds better than anything else. So install hosted card. We're gonna install this. We're gonna host it on here. This is where the engine gets nutty. We're gonna make it a Sentry Breaker. It gets 5 strength because of the Cyber Trooper Tulu. Why is it not fire? I don't know. Then I'm gonna do -1/-1. Oh, we don't actually have credits for fucking Bologna. Oh, we have a Film Critic. We're fine. This should be 5 strength. It's not allowing us to break. Successful run. Access 7. It's only 6 cards. And that's a good game. No. Whew. Got it. Flame out bucks. Oh, yeah. We didn't use the flame out money. That's why we should have had 5. So we could have stole the Bologna. Oh. Thanks, you too. Yeah, so this deck is scary. We've been seeing it a fair bit. I haven't done enough testing whether this is consistent or not, but let me tell you, a lot of runners aren't running currents. Man, the current imbalance right now I think is absolutely wild. Scarcity is so unanswerable, and so many people are playing a lot of resources and forgetting about this, but Surveillance Sweep has just kind of been a good card. I've been struggling with this. This deck did run one current. It didn't actually cause us to win the game, but it helped us run the remote, which we ended up not tracing anything, so I don't actually think it mattered. Huh. Instead of useful things. Bummer. Yeah, we should have definitely taken the money from the flame out, just so we could have stolen Bologna. But if we did that, we just put it on the film critic, and hopefully, well, we just double clicked it, we would have been fine. Sandy, what's up? Trying to win the game is usually good strategy. Sometimes it's more about like the personal goals. Super Quarter pays for itself off pause if you match the corpse hand. Pretty good. Yeah. This card's weird. It's like in Lat, it's meant to be Lat's console, I'm understanding, but like having 6 cards in hand is such a disadvantage because you can't discard down to 5. And discarding down to 5 would have been sweet. Like at the end of your turn. And yeah, there we had another Hushik. We also knew that we had 2 diesels, so drawing into the Hushik was a bit better than 1 in 10. It was probably like, well, with the diesel math, it's actually pretty likely because the chance of drawing a diesel or the Hushik, and the Hushik will be drawn with the diesels, hopefully, it's pretty good. The Takobi actually is like kind of clutch in this deck, and it's something we might have wanted to aggressively pull out with the instead of the Rizeki. Now the Rizeki, I think at this point probably just made 1 or 2 credits. Like we paid 4 credits for that Rizeki, and I think it might not even have paid off by the time we won the game. But Takobi is super sweet because, as you see, we struggle big time when it comes to breaking ice. But unfortunately, this deck with Takobi, it doesn't run a lot, so it's hard to get a lot of counters on this thing. But this card is really cool. It's really cool, and it helps a lot. Cool. I think this deck definitely needs to be optimized, and the person who wrote the deck list said that. I don't think we're going to play another one of this. I think we're going to talk a bit about the news and then dive into a deck I've been playing and I want to play a bit more, which will be cool. We talked about this last week. If you're just tuning in, my name is Andre. I'm trying to talk at a speed that's a bit more reasonable. If this is destroying our identity as an online presence, let me know. And I'll talk really fast because I can and I miss it. I miss it so dearly. Hopefully you're all doing well. This is big, a recruitment update. Ooh. So this is 2 parts. If you don't know, Nisei is run by volunteers, and they have a lot of people that have to come together to do all the cool stuff they have been doing. And this is a 2-part thing. They preload with this idea of that they were looking for people for certain positions. Playtest coordinator, associate developer are some of them. There were some comments answered. I think RC was answering. I think RC was answering these on the Reddit. But the whole idea was that people were saying like, hey, I want to get involved in Nisei. It doesn't specifically have to be for these positions, mind you. But like, I'm not a competitive player and I don't have any of these things that you might think are necessary for you to be involved in the elite of people building cards. And I think the response was largely, that doesn't matter. If you're excited and you want to put the time in and you care, contact Nisei. You can hit them at nisei@gmail. I'm pretty sure about that. It should be on this website, not. And to even ask if you want to get involved, figure out a way to do it. But they're looking specifically for these 2 positions. And speaking of positions, some positions were filled. They were looking for a lead designer. That was a position that opened up between 2019 and 2020. And they finally found someone. And this is actually someone you might know if you've been watching competitive Netrunner for a while. This is Jaceki, who I believe plays out from San Francisco. I think also you saw them a fair bit on like Cortez's channel, all that sort of stuff. I think I'm right with this, right? I'm not wrong. And things to say, I never met this dude. David, by the way, is in chat saying, please apply for dev positions. But this is kind of a really cool thing, and why I have like huge faith in their ability to design things good. Johnny has a really good pedigree when it comes to designing stuff. This is Duelist. And I actually played a fair bit of this game, maybe like I was still in university. This was 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't know if you had the chance to play this. Unfortunately, this game, they just bid it farewell as of the 24th of January. They announced that they would be shutting down the servers. Mind you, this game has been out for a couple years, and it was like this really deep grid-based, card-based game a 1v1 game, and it had a big community. It had some really cool ideas with it. It was a lot more generous with card draw. It had a lot more like modular pieces. The amount of like strategy, because that's kind of a big thing with Magic or Hearthstone that I never loved so much, which Netrunner I think blows it wide open on the fact that you have a click economy. Like the amount of things you can do on your turn is huge. It's huge. It's straight up huge. A lot of times in like other card games, you play your best card. Like in early game, you don't have a lot of choices, but in this game, you played cards that played units that put them on the table, and then you moved your units and they attacked. So it was both a card game and a tactics game. This game was super sweet. I had a roommate who I lived with for that like a year who was like super into this, and that's how I found it. Fortunately, this is coming down now. I think they're shutting down the servers entirely. I don't know. Check this out if you can before. It's free to play. You have to buy packs and stuff like that, but they do give you a lot of stuff if you just start, and there is some single player content and bots and stuff. But anyways, that's where Johnny's coming from, which is fucking sick. That's really cool that we have someone who is like worked on a successful project, and they definitely do a lot of Netrunner stuff. On top of that, we have some other positions. They found a treasurer, media pipeline coordinator, organized play. Then people for the most wanted list committee. This is Ajar, who has been playing for a while. Recently won the regionals in the one that was held in the FFG Center, if I'm not mistaken. We have Guy, and then we have some web developers. We have Alfred Navarez, Simon Howe Ho, or Dan Orbo Strong, Mael Malik Brunette, Gentle Sentinel Tyler. There's a lot of people doing stuff. Get involved if you can, if you care. Obviously, how much time you have to spend will depend. Be honest with Nisei. If you want to get involved, then they'll try and figure something out. Kind of looks like Feria. I never played Feria. Feria, I think, is free right now on the Epic Game Store, so check that out if you want. Anyways, that's cool. That's super cool. There was no lead game designer for a while, and obviously, like, who's that gonna be is kind of like a big deal. I don't know how Nisei designs stuff, like how much power this one person has, but that's a good start, and that's really cool. So what up, Joseki? All the best luck with working with the Nisei people. Cheers for the plug, friend. Of course, David. My pleasure. It's always free, I think. No, Feria you had to buy. Free on Epic Game Store. Yeah, no, Feria was it cost money. I'm pretty sure. I know it's coming for free. That must make sense, right? I feel like the artist has a hard time paying back her cost in a deck that wants to install everything with Paulus, but I don't know what other connections you use. There's not that many. Yeah, that's like some of the Shaper cards that came out recently like are just lacking other cards for support. And Nisei was pretty transparent about some of them. I'm looking at you, Anakem. But the fact that they don't have that many amazing unique connections, they have to import a bunch of them, or maybe you just put Paula's in like as. You can't tutor for it though, which sucks. You can definitely do stuff with it. It's a really powerful card. It's $25 on Steam. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it is a premium game, and I don't think it has any other monetization within it. Pretty cool. Maybe a shout on Epic then. Yeah. Well, it's free. Might as well, huh? Cool. Let's play a deck. I have been doing a really cool job. So, what a sentence. That was not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is I've been trying to do a good job going through all the cards from the Nisei set. And this is actually like a really big thing about the latest cycle, let alone the latest set. In Uprising, there's like almost no cards that I wouldn't want to put into a deck and try out. So I've been trying to like go through the list, just picking a card and be like, okay, let's see if we can make that work. And right now we've landed on one that is fucking confusing me. And it is Prana Condenser. For those who don't know, prana is a term used in, I believe, Hinduism, I want to say, that is meant to be some sort of energy, some sort of life force. And I love the theme of this, the thing that like that condenses it. It takes the vapors and liquidizes it, cools it. It's taking life force and it's actually making some sort of energy from it. And this is such a weird card, right? This is a card that on paper, well, it does two things, right? Like this double click trash, do a net damage for each hosted power counter. This is so exciting for so many net damage Jinteki players. Love that idea. Wait, I have a card that can do 6 net damage. Let's go. And then immediately you realize, wait, I need to prevent 6 net damage in separate instances and then protect this for that long. How the fuck do I do that? Which is a good question. I honestly can't answer that. But also, it's an econ card. So every time instead of doing a net damage, you take 3 credits, which is cool because Jinteki is pretty good at doing some net damage regardless of whether you want it or not. I'm looking at cards like, I don't know, Hokusai Grid or what's that one called that upsets me? It's not that bad anymore. That 4-1 with the wasps. Kakugo. That stuff is good. It's just free money. But this is kind of the issue. This card basically says, hey Jinteki net damage player, would you like to trade your win condition for 3 credits? And honestly, I don't know. I've been trying it, and I'm going to show you where I've started, and we're going to play some kind of games with it. Fucking Jinteki damage decks are just kind of fun to play. It's a bit different of an experience in person in JNet. I recently had the chance of playing this deck against like Maddie in person, and she hasn't played in a while. And also, I don't think like she's newer to the game, so she doesn't know like all the tricks and traps and like what to respect. So it's like, oh man, it's always really exciting. On top of that, this ruling came up, and I just want to say for anybody watching this who doesn't know, because Maddie didn't have this the right way, and apparently has played against people locally that didn't have this the right way. So I've Had Worse is a card that's really good against net damage. The problem is I've Had Worse will only fire if you survive the net damage. So that means at any point in time where you take more net damage than cards in hand, it doesn't matter that you have an I've Had Worse. You are dead. You are dead. So this says draw 3 cards, triggers if you take the net damage as well. But if you have 2 cards in hand and you hit a snare, you're dead anyways. So the net damage, if it says like do 3 net damage from snare, that happens all at once. It's not 1 net damage, 1 net damage, 1 net damage. That would fire I've Had Worse. But if you're taking 3 at once, or 3 meat damage, or 4 meat damage, if you ever take more damage than cards in hand and you have no like prevention effects, that's it. So do watch out for that. I think definitely players could be goofing that up. Anyways, here we are, Prana Condenser. What's up? I am dead. Apathy, what's up? Robbie, I'm doing well. How are you doing? We're gonna play some JNet, some Jinteki net damage deck. So what I wanted to do with this card is I wanted to have it as 2 things. The way that I saw this is that having money is okay if you have a way to capitalize on the money, and Jinteki actually has a couple ways to capitalize on the money. Now the problem is finding a way that both capitalizes on money but also doesn't trade off your win condition is a bit difficult. The idea is that like, oh, I can prevent 1 net damage to get 3 credits is cool, because then maybe I could turn around and use those credits on something like a punitive counterstrike. But at the end of the day, if I just gave you that net damage, I'd probably be better off at landing the lethal punitive counterstrike anyways. So I'm not sold. So maybe that's not right. So maybe we want to do this Prana Condenser. Oops, I opened this in another window. What about if we do the Prana Condenser instead, because we want to res Big Ice, and maybe we just don't have the economy for Big Ice. And that's kind of cool, and I could see that. I think running some Big Ice is pretty cool. So we have cards like Anansi, which can be pretty expensive from some personal evolution decks. And running this is pretty cool. And on top of that, one of the cards that I've enjoyed way more than anything I would have imagined is Ganked. And we're going to be playing Ganked in this deck because it's really cool as a trap card, because people, I don't know, it can scare people out of nowhere. And also we want to play this card because this is another big learning I have. This is Tier, and we played Tier last week. We never really rezzed it, and I like Tier a fair bit. I think Tier is a really weird include in a Jinteki deck on the basis that people respect big sentries, but I don't know, I feel like that should always be a case, and this should never fire. But this with Ganked gets a bit better. This also with Marcus Batty is pretty cool, and I think a really big thing about Prana Condenser is this ability here, due to brain damage. So the problem with Prana Condenser is it's such a non-threat for a long time, because for this to get 6 counters on it, you really need to fuck up and ignore this for a long time. But as soon as you do brain damage, this gets lethal really quickly. Like, it actually gets lethal kind of scary. Like, if they have 2 brain damage, like 3 counters on this plus maybe a neural EMP could be lethal, or an agenda on the table could be lethal. You can do some pretty cool stuff. And I think brain damage is actually a big secret to how to make this thing kind of work. Ganked Konjin Kamaino, yeah, that's all happening for sure. Also, David Debates just says Tier. Yeah, Tier's good. 5 Influence good. I don't know, but it's fun. What if you do it in Chronos Protocol and decide that only the first net damage each turn is important? It's really hard though to do more than 1 net damage in a turn. Like you could always, it's really hard, right? Like what are they gonna running through? Like having to find a situation that they're consistently having to take 2 damage a turn, it seems a bit far-fetched. 1 is easy, right? Because if they want to run for you, you could have on every central server, in theory, what's it called? That one. Batty Tears Love. Oh man. I'm excited for Batty to rotate, I'll be honest. I'm also excited to see you make this questionable card work. Work is a bit of an overstatement maybe, but at least try it. That's probably more accurate. It seems like an interesting card. Back when I was playing the game heavily, I definitely would have tried to make this work, and that's cool. And I think that's a big thing. I don't want to spoil my findings on this just yet, but there's this like weird archetype that I'm convinced that Nisei thinks exists, and I want to know what their testing is like. But like, not every card has to be tier 1, but like we've seen this before. Synth DNA modification. This is like a weird card, and this is the beginning of the archetype to me, where it's like, oh, this is a card that if you don't deal with, it'll take net damage. So the value of this card is that it pulls them into the server, because you have to ice this, really. So they deal with this first. And that's weird, but like, what kind of trap deck is running a lot of iced servers and is putting enough pressure where it's hard to run and trash this for 2? I think that's actually a really good thing about Piranha is 4 trash cost is considerably more and the res cost is tiny. But on top of that, I always get this wrong. I don't know if it's Storgotic or Strawgotic. Nailed it. This is another one, and this one actually maybe is more exciting. Unfortunately, same res to trash numbers, but this card is sweet. This card is just free net damage. It's click for 1 net damage though, which is kind of really cool with Piranha Condenser as a way to charge it up. But like, you have to ice both these up and then do net damage. It's like so many things and so many card slots. But this is another card that I definitely want to trash. But when this came out, like, I was like, I don't get it. This one at least has way better numbers on it, and this ability is fun and it gives you money. That's kind of the thing with this. Is like, this gives you 2 cool things. You don't have to capitalize on both of them. This could just be a threat. Sort of turns House of Knives into gain 9 credits. House of Knives is still legal. It is in order and honor and profit. And talking about House of Knives, we got a deck, and this deck is built on the shoulders of some other good archetype decks that we have kind of been a thing. So this is the one it's not gonna work. We'll just do all this in the Chrome for a second, just because of reasons. Okay, so firstly, there is this. I was trying to look up at what Personal Evolution looks like modernly on a competitive scene, and I got good old Kangolo's list, Simon Moon's list, and his list has it's not specifically his list. It's a bunch of the people, the Comrades team, put a lot of things together and built a very good deck that I'm pretty sure it's the deck that won the PAX that was in Philly recently. Yeah, that was recently. And then I also saw this Knuckled Guy deck, and I kind of put these together with my own spin on it. So Synth DNA is neat. I think Synth DNA is actually probably just a better card in this deck. Well, we'll get to that. This is a techie deck, and unfortunately this deck is like fucking ass to play against. It is not fun. And you can read this, and I've seen so many people play this archetype. This almost won Canadian Nationals the last time I played at Canadian Nationals. If I'm not mistaken. And the idea of this deck is you put good, taxing, fucking expensive ice on every central server, 2-3 deep, and eventually the runner can't afford to run every turn. And then when they do that, you just ship in from 10 and out, and you score out agendas that make it even harder for them to run and do extra damage to them. And then eventually they can't steal your Obokata Protocol and you win. And unfortunately, that's how this deck looks like in tournament play. It's install ice, credit, install ice, credit. And they keep doing that until one turn you don't score. And if you don't have any way to stop it, then they score out a House of Knives, and that's another 4 damage, and then eventually you get grounded out. Now, the only spicy thing about this deck specifically is Warray Tracker, which is kind of cool. This is their answer to Ice Destruction, because you can res this, and then if they trash the ice, this trace, you can spend money into it, because your money really, you don't need a lot of money for this deck, and that's pretty good. It also looks like another threatening upgrade. It's good against other destruction cards. This is a really cool tech card for 2 influence. There are, mind you, this is like really strange. There are some really weird rulings when it comes to this installed in the root of central servers, because this is whenever the runner trashes 1 or more cards in or protecting a server, including Warray Tracker, upgrades in central servers are not installed in the server. They're installed in the root of the server. So this doesn't apply to them. It's bizarre, and it's a really uncomfortable ruling, is that cards in central servers are not installed in the server, in the root of the server, upgrades. Anyways, it's a cool tech card, and it's a weird way to spend 4 influence, and I like it. And they also have Arc Lockdown and Archive Memories, Recurse Shipment from Tenon. It's a grind of a deck, and it's no fun to play against, and people play against this poorly because they want to run all the time, and then they lose cards and they die. And then I found this deck, which is kind of the idea of what you want them to try. It's the deck I could find with 3 Piranha Condensers in it, and it has a bit of the other ideas to it. It has the same really good Jinteki PE agenda suite. It also is running some big-ass sentries with Ganked, which is what I want to do too, and Ganked has some really cool combinations combinations with Komainu to gain all the subroutines again, and they keep them. So 10 subroutine Komainu is the dream. We couldn't get that to fire last week, but whatever. And Tyr, which is just strong. And I kind of combined them together into something. These Aiki, yeah, this is good. I wanted to try Engram Flush, but Engram Flush doesn't do net damage, and you want net damage if you're playing Prana Condenser, so that kind of sucks. So we did the same idea. We have 3 shipment. We have 1 Roy to try it out. We have the ganked. We have a single tier. We have some really good ice anyways. Konjin, mind you, is a hell of a good ice. It's really taxing. It can hit you into the tier, Komainu and Nancy anytime you hit it, which is pretty great. Even the Kakugo can be annoying. And we have the ice suite and we have shipment. And this seems pretty good. Not as grindy, but has some cool things to do, and we have the Prana Condenser. Now, the reason why I wanted Prana Condenser specifically in this deck is if we put Prana Condenser in remote and we res it, one of the best responses the runners will do is maybe not run for a turn, because we actually can't hurt them unless we score agendas if they don't run. And that's cool, because if they're not running because they respect Prana Condenser, that's a really good way for us to shipment from 10 and out small agendas. And hopefully that's good enough. It doesn't have a lot of really good traps. It has snares, but like, I don't know. It's hard now because I'm talking to the people we might play against, but we don't have like June bugs. Anything installed advanced can largely be ran, but we also can make a good server. Like Maddie ran into a tier, took some damage, ran through and hit a ganked into a tier. And that shit's good. So it's kind of a mixture. It's like semi-glacier, semi-fast advance, some cool neat traps, and we're trying this out. It's fine. Tokes, I like Sizen 10. Okay. I don't understand. I would, in a world with Komainu, I would never play Sizen 10. I don't know what it would take, because they both get like fucked up by hunting grounds. At least Sizen 10 doesn't get fucked up as bad, but we have enough on encounter abilities. Yeah. Okay. Thimble Rig, mind you, is also clutch with ganked. People don't really respect that. Sometimes they'll run a ganked server that has nothing but a Thimble Rig on it. Once they pass the Thimble Rig, you move like the Nancy over. Oh, shit's so good. Anyways, let's try this. Export? Oh, here. I don't have a name for this deck. No. Ice Destruction looked like it would hurt you a bit. Yo, what up, Michael? It sort of does, sort of doesn't. Like, you have to respect Ice Destruction. In the write-up for the Comrades deck, they talked specifically about how you want a 2 or 3 ice some servers, just because Hippo is a problem and other Ice Destruction. But this deck runs 2 preemptive, and it runs a Warray Tracker. Both of them are pretty good against Ice Destruction, so it actually might not be the worst. But we admittedly don't have that much ice. But you don't need to. Warray Tracker says you have to pay 4 to trash a snare from hand. I didn't realize that. That's pretty sweet. Ganked P. Not a great name, but come on. I think Warrior Tracker is like criminally underrated. The numbers on it are really good. 4 to trash, trace 4, trace. They get to decide what cards they trash, but like against Jinteki, one of the best things you can do is not install too many cards. So you're generally hitting good stuff. It was a bit sweeter in the other deck because that deck ran Arc Lockdown. So if you were an Anarch, you'd be like, I don't care, Black Orchestra, MK Ultra, that shit comes back. You sometimes could get punished depending on how many clicks you had left and what ice was rezzed on the table at the time. It's totally personal taste in Sizen 10 versus Komainu. They're so similar. But I don't even think it's personal taste because they're not similar. It's specifically with this deck because of ganked. Because if they hit a Komainu, best case scenario, medium case scenario, 3 cards in hand. Which again, against PE, if you're running with 3 cards in hand, you are fucking up. But if you run with 3 cards in hand, Sizen 10, it's 3 subroutines. I think it's 1 or 2 more strength. Komainu is 3 subroutines, but with a deck that runs gank, then they hit or Konjin, they hit the Komainu again, and then it has 6 subroutines, and so on and so on. So specifically with ganked and Konjin, I think Sizen 10 is not even worth considering over the better option. You can name a Prana Condenser deck. Repeat so many times it breaks JNet. We learned our lesson. I'm actually surprised it took that long for that to break. Would Jinteki Biotech make it more threatening earlier? It's kind of hard. I saw a deck today that someone posted about like just playing tier and Marcus batting the 2 brain damage subroutines aggressively just so you could flip Jinteki Biotech to do the damage. But like the really big problem with Prana Condenser is it's 2 clicks to fire. So like even convoluted combos are really difficult. Like it's not like you can fire, like you have to do like biotic Sizen 10, flip your ID in biotech. It's so hard. It's so hard. Like, it's not threatening. It's like, oh, you can flip your ID forever. Like, you can always flip your ID to do 2 net damage, or you can product condenser for 2 net damage. I don't know. It's strange. It's really weird. Yo, T Pickwen. How does personal evolution get economy? My PE deck always runs out of money. This deck specifically plays very slowly. It's mostly like just like credit, install, credit. Like, some of the turns are boring as shit. We do run IPO, we do run hedge fund and product condenser, and yeah, product condenser is an econ card. Oh, Geist. Geist is actually really hard to kill. Opening hand is a bit butt. Geist gets free card draw. We don't have Arc lockdown, and they do have a lot of recursion, so this actually is a hard matchup. What kind of breakers they're gonna run? If it's things like, luckily Komainu is pretty good, but if it's things like Spike or if it's things like Gabali, it's hard for them to deal with a lot of subroutines. If they are on grappling hook, which I think is actually pretty on mode right now, we're definitely gonna try and get ice. Ooh, that's a hand. All right. Okay, there. If they don't run, we get a sting out. Not the best use, but the turns play themselves. Yeah, grappling hook will do it. Apparently prana means breath or life in Sanskrit. Yeah. In Hinduism, it means life force, which is cool. Like, thematically, that's a cool card. All right. They're drawing up. Obviously, they want to set up with, ooh, this is good. More card draw for them. Kind of hard to kill. Prognostic Culip, that's a good early set. This might actually be pretty close to Pincel's list. Diversion, that's actually a really good card against us. I'm not sure why they would discard that. Their hand must be like nuts. And like, we could go ahead and shipment out a Sting. This would do 2 net damage. Early enough, it's okay. But I don't think they're going to run for a minute. So I just want to ice up HQ, I think. We can draw once for hedge fund. We don't really have a reason to ice archives unless they're like prognosting masterwork for like the back or just to see the top of their deck. But I ideally want to shipment out a House of Knives. I think it's a bit more threatening. Nancy still punishes them in the face. Yeah, Nancy's still a good card. But you'll notice a lot of turns we're not going to do much. Like, we're just going to click for credits. This might make terrible television, but at least we can maybe talk about it. Probably worth a chance of trashing combo pieces. I think if they had better combo pieces, they would install them. So they like, definitely don't have their connection in hand. Like, they're throwing out cards on their own. Like, that's so cool for us. Masterwork, grappling hook. Okay, so we know they're on grappling hook, so it's only so good. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to do it. Let's see what we get. And we have preemptives to put these back. So we're going to do 2 net damage. Slow start, boy. Sting is going to hit a Corroder, so they can always simul chip that back in. And we also got another diversion, which made sense in hand considering they threw out one of them. We can only res the Afshar, but that's probably good enough. We don't really need to ice up 8 R&D. We have a lot of agendas in hand, and these are hard to steal, mind you. These are 5 net damage. They do draw while they run, which is pretty good. And unfortunately, we actually don't have to res any of this stuff. Resing the Komainu would have been fucking sick. Wait, are they just dead to Cortex Lock? What are they doing here? If this is a Cortex Lock, we'd win the game. Oh, I guess no, they could grappling hook. But no, they don't have a program to trash. This is a really risky run. They're dead to grappling hook. What are they doing? Or dead to Cortex Lock. Am I missing something? Like, they have 5 on MU, 2 cards in hand. So resing this puts us down to 0 money so that we can't hedge fund off the top. I'm not going to res this. Yo, what's up, Parallel? How you doing? They discarded or they have to have major cards in. Yeah, I think so. Especially against a deck like this. Yeah, that was lethal. I definitely wouldn't take that run. I think people run aggressively with Bravado because of Bravado. That's really unfortunate. Okay, so we're just going to keep cards in hand. Doing good, excited for some Thursday Netrunner. Hey, welcome. We're playing some Jinteki. We're trying to do some damage. And maybe this is actually a really good matchup because like doing damage to Geist when you know we can't kill them is maybe not the best use of our time, so Prana Condenser can get a bit better. That's a Bagalter, okay. And that's a good Bahali, okay. So Komainu is going to be about 3 credits sometimes to get through, sometimes more. We do have a Hokusai Grid. Putting that on HQ is kind of cute. It protects the Obakatas pretty elegantly. And I don't think they have Ice Destruction. Andre, I've got to kill with Brainstorm Gang. You be proud of me! Hell yeah! Was it a surprise or did they like see it coming? Just saying Sansanton probably kills there. We didn't have the money. But Kamaino kills there. Oh, Kamaino never kills. Look, Cortex Lock kills. I think that's agreeable. This is an issue too. We have no way to shuffle R&D. It was a surprise. Oh, that's the best one. And they have a tech writer. Still, their economy is kind of not been amazing. We don't want to preemptive any of this stuff back in. I think actually building a remote is okay. Just so maybe we could push out, like we could push out an Obokata early and be on game point. Like they need to get through the Nancy, which they can't really do with their economy and Bagulter, and Gabali doesn't do either. Unfortunately, that's like a 13 credit play. I got a kill with a Nancy double ganked to Punitive the other day. Gank truly improves the poverty plan of the deck. Yo, ganked is such a fun card. The text on Sting confused me. How does it work? So the text on Sting does 1 damage always when scored or stolen, plus 1 damage for how many copies of that agenda in the runner score area. So basically they had none, so it does 1 net damage. If they had 1, it would do 2 net damage. So you want to give them the early ones and then, or actually it doesn't matter what you do because if they steal them, you're good. Now they have economy. And then we do an extra damage because we're Jateki personal evolution and that's how we do. They might falsify this. I'm actually happy if they falsified this and not an agenda. I feel like the Pranic Condenser synergizes well with Polonus since you'll get hella money, but you're much preventing the damage, you don't draw as much. Yeah, I know. It's like, it's our win condition a lot of times is damage. It's so weird. Oh, we could have probably pushed out an Obokata. Yeah, they're setting up. Remote is a trap, just click for creds. I think you're right. But like this early on against Geist, I think we might have to do something. But like they're burning through their deck. We haven't seen a back just yet. I really hope they run for this. Is there like an alarm clock in your background peeping rhythmically? No. Do you hear something like that? It sounds terrible. What do you... Yes. Oh, so they're boomeranging this. So I'm not going to ever res it. Because they can break this, get money with boomerang, draw a card, then they Gabali the other one. So this is fine. We're never going to res that now. And so they're going to lose a boomerang. Unfortunately, you can trash a boomerang. Okay, so this is wrong. So people thought you'd strand the boomerang on here. But if you overinstall the boomerang with another boomerang, whenever you make a successful run with another boomerang, you can shuffle another copy of another boomerang into your deck, if that makes sense. We do have a Pranic Condenser. Something tells me that this is just going to tax him. Yeah, this is not great. Oh boy. This is also bad because now they're making runs. There's a truck backing up a block away from you. Actually, can you hear something like that? That sounds not good. I don't know what that is. That shouldn't be happening. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm going to fuck with the audio filters. Worse or better? The sound is on their end, I think. I don't know. Does it remove boomerang from circulation effectively? Yeah, I think it does, right? Rob, do you hear it well, or is it only my head? No, I've heard that sometimes in recordings. That's a Kakugo, which is really good. Sargnar, what's up? Yeah, exactly. We're trying to make Pranic Condenser work. It's not compelling. But now it's a threat. Okay, did I make it worse? Because I dropped the gain. Am I now too quiet? Maybe I made it worse. You can override boomerang with a new copy. It's not a console. You totally can, Danske, but the idea is that you can't shuffle this back into your deck too easily. They probably will be able to with the back, but at least firing this doesn't give them economy because now they have 3 tech traders. And they want to just aggressively like trash their stuff to grappling hook back and stuff like that. I also hear it. Fuck. Everyone who can't hear it though ought to have worn earplugs more often. Street Peddler, that gets through their deck pretty fast. We haven't seen a back just yet. I wonder if they are on, I don't know if they have the influence really, or the need to play Hunting Grounds. It's another tech writer, Gabali, okay. Thimblerig, it's a good card. We can just put this on archives, click for credit. We also put it on HQ. HQ is probably more important. I think we'll do the Konjin on HQ. I just don't want to install 2 pieces of ice. I love if they boomerang this, because then they never get it back. But again, like this deck, a lot of times all it wants to do is nothing, and then of course fast advance these out. The version that was like very turtley, the one that Comrades was playing, was running more recursion cards, just because, and archive memories. There's the back, so this is gonna be the problem. I have difficulty trying to figure it out. Maybe it would be better in a remote stuff with nasty upgrades. I think that's probably the case, and that's why we have ganked in this deck, which is really good. We'll start rezzing stuff. This is double Kakugo. Did they look at the top of the deck? No, they haven't. So we can res the Prana. I don't know if resing the Prana is correct. This is manual. You have to do the back yourself. Yeah, we'll see how bad this is. Right now they trash it for 4 credits. So this only gives us money. So if they break this, we can either choose to do the damage or the 3. Do you Resonancy to have it run Konjin target? Yeah, it's not amazingly taxing, but we could. So they have some options here. They could trash their Bugalter to install Corroder, which would be ideal. They could just Bahali it. But it looks like they're just going to take the loss on the money. So I don't know if we're going to get Prana value. And this is a good value for them. And they didn't make a successful run. We do have a House of Knives, so basically we want to just recur this thing. We don't have that. If we put everything on HQ, how good is that? I think it's actually pretty good. This broadcast is a bit too much about what's going on here. We could have been a bit more coy. But yeah. Go ahead and trash this. That's fine. It's hard for us to protect it with the boomerang. If we had maybe the thimble rig here, maybe it'd be worth it. These sort of decks that use Gabali and Grappling Hook, though, are actually pretty weak to ganked, which I think is definitely a bonus. They have another Street Peddler out here. I don't want to zoom out too much because it's going to be a bit too hard. But then if they install another thing, we won't see it. Haven't seen a Sports Hopper. I don't think, if this is Pincel's list, Pincel wasn't running a Sports Hopper. There's a Grappling Hook. That's pretty good defense. And hey, they're mostly through their deck here. They again, like maybe bad television, but we don't have to do anything. And eventually we will draw. We have 2 more copies in 31. Not very good odds. But at this point, we could even consider preemptiving back shipment. Now, what is your deck even doing? It's chilling. Andre never plays Dirtle decks, you're right. They have 3 Anansi's worth of breaking. Right now? This server also is a mistake because now they have somewhere free to run, so they can always turn off shipment from Tenon. And Archives we could have iced up / put what's it called, Breach Dome in it. So actually this remote might have been straight up a mistake. And actually a pretty sizable one that could cost us the game. They just saw tier. All right, now we can move this around, which has some value. That's a Stargate. Okay, hey, wow, yeah, I forgot they have that. So Stargate will move the Boomerang token on. This is a pretty good start for a net damage deck, but we are going to lose to Stargate. Getting a Hokusai on R&D is pretty good with Stargate, because once they commit to Axis, I don't think we will swap it. Oh, now they know we have this. Okay, well, I wonder where we're going to put that after you put a Stargate down. I'm kidding, I know. You can fix your remote with a thimble, we can, but we can't destroy it. We can't fix it. I'm not doing a good job paying attention to what they see with Spy Camera. Ideally, you definitely should. Information is huge in this game. All right, 1 tech raider down, 8 credits. It's a tier into Kakugo. They can't hit ganked because they're Stargating, and we do have a preemptive. Unfortunately, most of the agendas they throw in the bin here are actually pretty palatable. I don't know if we have this. Trashes Boomerang for the rig to install another Boomerang. Okay, now we can fix it. They're putting a Boomerang on Kakugo? Oh my god, this is going to be fun. Enjoy a tier. Most of our money was spent on this. Has the good subroutines. This is a big one. Good old Liga stuff. So grappling hook through it. They're through it. Oh, should be Stargate run. Oh yeah, sure. Do it up. Yeah, so having here either a copy of a Warrior wouldn't be amazing. They do have some Link, but they have a lot of cards I guess they could trash. But Hokusai would be pretty sweet. This deck in theory, if it wants to be really grindy, should have 3 Hokusai. That card's absurd. 4 net damage. Sorry, 4 to trash plus net damage. The boomeranging this, that'll draw a card. Do net damage. That's hard to deal with. Their breach jumps in R&D, I think. Only 1. And they're not going to hit it here because of Stargate. So that's a Crowder coming down. Komainu, Snare, Archive Memories. They're going to start the Archive Memories if I'm not mistaken. Wait, they have no stack? Oh yeah, they have no stack. Oh, cool. Timberrig on a 4-ice stack is like impossible for him to get through. Don't even need the other ice. Yeah, no, they have a decoder. They must actually have a decoder. Does this deck not have a decoder? That's awesome though, you're right. If it's just like Thimblerick, it's a problem for them. They lost the back number 2? Oh yeah, they did. They can't recur the number back. Oh, losing the back number 2 to Kaku damage is fucking huge. So the thing is like they can recur most of their deck with this, but only trashables. And the thing is like trashables draw trashables. I actually think I like that there. Okay, so they know they threw out the Komainu. They know we have an Archive Memories, and they know we have a Snare in hand. So HQ got a bit safer. I think we're doing game 2, and then I don't want to draw. Actually, Archive Memories is a pretty sweet draw. This ice is actually a huge issue. Oh man, we fucked that up. They have a lot of money. They're gonna have infinite money now. I think we'll play this. So this goes back. We'll take the IPO, and the Komainu gets pretty annoying for them. They only have so many grappling hooks, and we'll just sit back. Almost grinded them out. Yeah, right. They gone through everything. They also have installed another Street Peddler, which why does this only have 1 card on it? Oh, it's because they only had 1 card. Never like these things, like against Shinteki decks. Like you never have to set up that fast. We're not doing anything, and that's like 4 net damage. Admittedly, this is gonna be huge. They're just stargating through this over and over again. Can they afford it? I guess they click through one of these? What are they doing? Oh, I guess they'll Gabali it. They're gonna make good money, but these are always gonna do damage. That's a Q. That's a console, doesn't matter. 3 cards at the top. Ganked NGO from Prana. I imagine they'll trash the NGO, but they don't want us to have the ganked. Oh, damn. Yeah, tell me about it. Saw the House of Knives for the fake out? Yeah, we honestly could. That's some tasty jank. This isn't even jank. I think all these cards are super good. Oh, besides Prana. Ganked is a really good card. Fortunately, Ganked is like really weak to Stargate, not only because they can trash it without it firing, but also because when they it won't ever fire because it will never access the root of R&D. And now we know we don't have to shuffle. We can install Advance here, and they think it's the NGO front. We actually could maybe sneak out an Obokata. Wait, this doesn't draw anything. Oh, but they could easily do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we actually might jam an Obokata here. To get Warride on R&D so they can't Stargate, except they have infinite money. Yeah, Warride in theory we should. Wait, how are they going to deal with this? I don't know how they're going to break this. I think they have a decoder. They must. Yeah, I think jamming Obo isn't the worst. Oh, they have an Amina. Okay. We can conjure them into the tier. I think that would be ideal. Yeah, the Komainu is actually trash. Man, size sometimes better than Komainu. Oh, man. So this is... We're going to lose a credit. So we res the Konjin. We'll have 2 credits. Then we can fire the Hokusai, which will hit the Boomerang. Okay, this is a side game for them to hit a tier. How good is that? Even fucking hitting the Kakugo is scary. Because then they die to Hokusai. There's a secret film critic living on the streets. There can't be, just because Tech Trader is a restricted card. Alright, we're playing a side game. So to break this with Bagalter, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7 credits. It's 7 credits if they don't do any tricks. Yes! Choose a piece of ice. So honestly, the Kakugo has some point to it, because then they die to single axis. Honestly, they can't steal. It doesn't matter. They can take a damage anyways. They can't steal an agenda. Let's go. Because that means that stealing is lethal. Exactly. The order doesn't matter. Honestly, if they axis, they probably lose the game. Unless they hit Obokata. Oh, fuck. Okay, no. Specifically, if they hit House of Knives, they die. If they make an axis here. Yep. Yo, Nutritional, we've been streaming since 9:45. All right. They have a chance of lethal. If they win the Future Perfect game, lethal. They can't steal Obokata, obviously. We can't res any of this stuff. I'd rather not res the Abstract, not that we can. Yeah, this can easily be death. Oh, they can't steal this. They always just spend money. Okay, this isn't dead damage. If they heal the House of Knives, they die. I don't think they have any tricks. Oh, we won! We won! Good game. So they hit the 1 and 5. Monka as all of the other agendas you could avoid stealing. That's amazing. They don't pass with the redirection? Oh, okay, maybe that doesn't work. Oh man, that's amazing. That was a 1 in 5. Obviously, we couldn't fire the snare. The Obokata, they can refuse to steal because, well, they literally couldn't. And this, they could just pay a credit because we could only pay 0. And this one, we would try to throw the game so that they had to steal the agenda. Oh man, that's awesome. That's really good. Okay, so like, I think we've shown a lot what we've seen with Prana before. Is probably not amazing in this deck. Honestly, okay, we're gonna do another one with this deck, but I'm convinced that this deck would actually be better with synth DNA modification. If we just want something that's in the remote that would cause them not to run, this is the thing, because most of our ice in the deck is actually AP. So if you res this, you're like, fuck, I know if I run, I'll take damage no matter what. So I might not run until I'm like set up, or I won't run. Like stuff like that is really good because it slows them down and lets you, it makes it easier to hit out your, what's it called? Your shipment from Tenon. Now, admittedly, this is not going to be as anywhere as competitive as a Comrades deck, because that's probably pretty optimized, but at least the weird cards. Let's hear for Prana Condenser. Okay, we'll try another shot at it, for sure. There's a chance it could be good. Yeah, committing to access there is also really rough. Like, they could have died to Fetal AI. They could have died to a couple things. Hey, what up? All right, so we have the shipment in hand. We have actually a pretty reasonable hand. The thing is, like Hoshiko, if you don't ice up, they'll generally will be running central servers just to get the free card draw. And the free card draw is actually really good against a Jiteki deck. Not too bad. Prana's good versus runners with net damage avoidance, right? Since you prevent before they do? I guess so, but I don't really know anyone who runs net damage avoidance. A lot of people rather just run buffer drive. Time to add celebrity gift. I really don't want to when we have this card. I think we can, but that's the thing is we can play so slow. Opening hand, honestly, some parts of it are good. Having one piece of ice is actually a way bigger deal. Because like I don't really want to run this Sting early. We could do worse than this, but like we could do so much better. Like this. That was way better. No economy, we do have the shipment. And we definitely, I think we're gonna put more pressure on R&D probably with Stargate. So we're just gonna put this on R&D. We don't have to res it. Put this on HQ, could be lethal. Hopefully draw an agenda. And we're gonna be clicking for credits for a couple turns. No card never makes it into Jiteki decks. Georgia did make it into Jiteki decks, and Georgia specifically made it into this Jiteki deck, which this archetype used to be potential unleashed. And that's because a big weakness of this deck is if it had Kakugos, and it got a lot easier with Thimble Rig, is that one of the best things you could do is have enough money that you just ran and broke one piece of ice and then jacked out or end the run if it was a Kakugo, and you'd build turning wheel counters. And that was actually one of the easiest ways to beat this deck. And Georgia was a really good way to deal with that. Admittedly, that was kind of like a niche window, but she was a really cool way. And I think Georgia is actually a pretty fine card with a prana condenser, because Georgia is expensive to move her. But if you have enough end the run abilities, if you're playing replicating perfection, Nisei tokens, stuff like that, like it offsets that credit differential, which is kind of cool ways to build up counters. I think Georgia is an underrated card, specifically against Turning Wheel, but nonetheless. Hey, we're a Glacier, right? That's my thoughts. Yeah, she's cool. And that was the problem with that deck. The deck is like loses to Turning Wheel. It's one of the best things that people could do. It's like never access. They have 3 snares and everything else is garbage. They actually don't get the Hoshiko because they don't actually access any cards. Oh, it's for Mining Accident? We'll actually pay 5. Them having money doesn't matter that much to us, but like we're not doing anything quickly. Like they also Cortex Lock could have been an issue here. Nobody respects Cortex Lock. Oh, now they access a card. And they also access the Kakugo. Georgia, what does this card do? She is, I really like the design on this card, but it's kind of scary if you put this on things that are too good. She's a sysob that you can move around, and if they make an unsuccessful run on the server, that you do net damage. So it's good with a lot of those sort of RP things where people maybe bounce off centrals to like run a remote. Daily cast, looks like they're not going to run. A lot of times this deck wants to trigger on and off, so hopefully we draw I think we do score the Philotic. It's not amazing, but hey, it's a Philotic. We didn't have to do this, but I think with the Croter they might threaten to run. And we trashed a Yute from hand, which is actually pretty good. We do run a fair bit of Code Gates, and if we don't res anything, Taka's an issue. Woo! Extra Film Critic. Film Critic is really good tech against us, but this Taka's going to trash itself. Installing Taka this early when there's nothing to actually break is kind of a liability. They can't take the tag because they'll lose the Film Critic, but we can easily lose the Film Critic, and we have no way to trash it. You could slot in cards to help with that, but we have nothing. There's a lot of things to do to help trash this. Are they going to take a tag? I really don't think so. Taka! No! Okay, so we want basically 4 credits. If we install this, we'll be at 1, and we can click. I think we can just... Yeah, I think we'll just put this on RD and click. This is also good against Hippo, which I'm suspicious that their deck is running. This is also Xer, where they saw 2 cards. Once we have enough money, we can purge. It's pretty good. No love for Neural Katana? Ah, man. People don't run Mimic anymore, but that's wild. I guess it's a virtual card. They also could be in Hushik with enough 1-costers? I don't know. Yo, Basil, what's up? How's it going? You can just pump with Taka? Wait, really? Oh, yeah. It has to be doing a run, though. But yeah, okay. Easy. They probably should have done that. And they made a successful run, playing around our ability. I like it. So this is pretty hard to deal with. It's going to do some damage. I think we're just taking money. God, what a stream! What a stream! You know what? The cool thing though about this deck is that I know we're not going to build a remote server, probably, so we can like do this and just hang out down here. How's everyone doing? Here at this channel, we love clicking for credits. We do have hedge hunters and IPOs. We don't want to draw because we're not building a remote. This is why this deck doesn't run a lot of ice. Install a credit. Ooh, Sentry Breaker. That means they want to interact. Drug Dealer. That means we can deck them. We can deck them. All right. Do we want to build a remote? Probably not yet. Oh, sorry. That's wrong. Oh, this also didn't scroll. Excuse me. So Drug Dealer, I'll highlight that in a second if you haven't seen it. This card was saw a lot of play back in the day. It was in World's winning deck lists. They're trading a credit for a card draw. Pretty good. Where's your condenser gonna go? Okay, I'll move my face if we have to condense, which we probably do. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sold on this card. We also don't have Neural EMP in this deck, which is okay for a deck that's meant to be a grind deck with a lot of recursion. But Film Critic is going to be a problem. DDoS, okay. I don't think they're an Apocalypse deck, but that probably means that they're on En Passant. They're running here to flip and make sure we can't fast events out. So getting an ice here is probably pretty good too. Even if it's something we don't plan to res. Odore deals with Anansi actually pretty okay. It's only 6 credits because they have all the virtuals. Unless they trash this and then it's 7, 8. Hokusai Archives is obnoxious. I think we can just put this on Archives and click 2. Like, I don't think we're ever going to res this. And having these on Centros is way more valuable. Whichever grid has been installed in a remote server 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder if they'll ever do that. Make an asset upgrade or agenda that takes up 2 servers and it's in both of them and you have to ice both halves. That's like a real grid. I guess the 4 trash cost is good for condenser. So you might have to deal with it. Yeah, 4 trash costs, like that's the best part of this compared to the other ones that we've seen that are 2 trash, 2 res, is that like it's honestly annoying for them to deal with. And if we commit to this a remote, the only problem is if we install this naked on a remote, it's so easy for them to both get Hoshiko. Boomerang makes me think they're an Apocalypse deck, but they're installing way too many other things. They're probably just running good cards. All right, if it's Apocalypse, what do we want? I think we'll ice up. R&D seems way worse than anything else. God, this is bad television. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's way more fun in person when you start bluffing. Next, we'll see Earth Station because it has an enormous amount of 1 remote server. Hokusai's helps against Apocalypse for sure. So does everything else, but I don't think they're on Apocalypse. They get so much card draw, which is really good. Like, Obokata is actually hard to get into. And this hand's pretty good. Something that is installed on 2 servers would have been nutty good for how hard that would be to use. Yeah, right? But like it would just be an upgrade with like 9 trash cost that protects 2 servers. I don't know. That's probably just a waste of time. Not a good use of design space, but imagine it. One of those sideways cards. I guess that's what ice is. Fuck, whatever. We could consider like archive memorings for the shipment. It kind of shows what we're up to. Double DDoS. What does it mean? Hey, Taka's back. Okay, well, now we don't need it. We'll draw once. Why did we draw once? Why did we do that? What? The DDoS have 3 virtuals? I believe it, but they already did. Now they have more. Now they have 6. Why did we draw there? That was such a mistake. So we want to keep the agenda. We don't want the Prana, so that puts us on 6 cards, and we have to throw something else out. Throw out a snare, I think. That sucks. You confuse drawing for clicking for credit. Yo, Rob, I do that sometimes. The impatience sets in. It's like, oh yeah, let's do the one that ends the game faster. All right, 21 cards worth 31. There's probably no recursion in their deck. Like, we can just deck them and they'll deck themselves with board a fucking drug dealer. So eventually our hand is going to be only agendas. Unfortunately, Film Critic makes Obo so bad. Oh, hey, speaking about so bad. Get him! Adore, 3 net damage. Haven't seen that I've had worse just yet. And they're almost definitely on it because they have Mystic Miami. And Mystic Miami does pair really well with I've had worse. Give him a sermon to run. It's a snare. Negus, what's up? Yeah, we could have. We probably should have just installed the snare last turn. And if they ran it, it would have been fine for us. It's better than throwing it out, I'm pretty sure. What got spoiled? Oh, I didn't even check. It was a hedge fund. And an Obokata. Oh, that's actually really bad. Oh, I forgot about them. They have 2 spoilers. Okay. Well, I guess we're never going to score an agenda out. We're going to preemptive that turn. Do we preemptive both of these? I think we might. There's a chance you want to keep them. No, I think we'll leave one of the decks so we can archive it. And then we'll preemptive the agenda, one of the shipments, and probably a snare, actually. Boomerang, where are you going, bud? On the Kakugo, that's totally fine. They're setting up for a Stargate. But they have no Amu. They have unused Amu. Yeah, we'll preemptive. Okay, so that brings back, we'll take that back, and we'll take the snare. We always have technically access to the other one. Are you running Breach so you can Descendify's Archives run? Yeah, but only 1 because of card slots. This deck probably doesn't need NGO front, but this deck probably doesn't need Prana Condenser. I'm so sorry that we tried to build a Prana Condenser deck and it turns out to be the worst card by far. I wish I could make it work. Taka, Revan to go. Again, we don't have to make anything. I also think they have 2 more mining accidents, probably 1 more day job. Drug dealer's pretty good with day job. Snares and Prana? I don't know about the Prana. By any means? Whoa! Woo! Whenever you access a card not in archives, trash it at no cost. Even the card can normally trash and suffer 1 meat damage. This is crazy. They res DDoS, so we can't res the outermost. Oh shit, that's buck wild. Yute breaks this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it seems like a good trade. Yeah, okay. Everyone's getting hurt today. By any means against PC, bold. Yeah, against P, that's so bold. Even though they draw cards doing this, like, I don't mind too much. It makes this calculation worse where they might draw cards they want to keep in hand. We also can, like, House of Knives them. Like, this can be really scary. They could flat out die to Hokusai, which they have to trash. Like, now the Hokusai does 2 damage. Oh, man, it's good. Oh, they have Trickster. Never mind. Yeah, this, whatever. It's fine. And the Kakugo is also going to be pretty good. That's a card. This actually was a very playable card in the self-damage archetypes, which unfortunately don't exist anymore. That's an archetype I really like. All right, we drawn some cards. I'd love for you to draw some cards. They don't have money. I guess they have Boomerang, and they're going to trash this anyways. Like, we want to keep some money because they want to run a lot. I just don't know what else they're going to run this turn. Like, this isn't, I guess it's not that expensive because they played it for free. So they drew 2 cards. Kakugo, the heavyweight. The art on this is so nice. It's really subtle. They corrode it or boomerang it? I think you boomerang it, right? Why would they corrode it? Now your boomerang stuck. All right, Inside Job's out. Stimac's out. It's not really a playable card. I'm going to go ahead and res this, our friend over here. Unfortunately, Yute absolutely eats fucking Komainu. Shit. Saisentan is... Oh, no, they pay 3 credits. It's fine. Devil Charm. They trash the Thimble Rig. Trash the Devil Charm. It probably means they're on ice destruction. I love how long most runners take to realize that the Aiki card draw is damaging them. Yeah, I know. But it also, sometimes it does help. Sometimes you want to access with a lot of cards. Oh, they see 2 cards with the Xer. Ooh, combo. I forgot about that. So now by any means sees 2 cards. The chance of them dying is even higher. They can host that? I thought they'd have to trash it. They lost the Corroder. They lost the That's down. They have 2 clicks, 2 cards in hand. They accesses the damage. I thought by any means means you had to trash it. Can you actually film critic by any means? Can you do that? I think they can order of access. It seems like the sort of thing where you can't imp a snare, but I don't know how this works. Obviously, by any means, great and self-damage. Don't play against P. Yeah, against P, it's wild. So what do? They basically trash this for free and trash the Thimble Rig, and that's all they did with it. And another drug dealer? What is happening? I don't know. They have the same trigger? Okay, so that's fine. Honestly, I don't know if we play this. We don't need to. It puts fewer cards in hand. They have 1 more DDoS. I think we can just click for credits. We can also click for credits and archive memories for this, but the fact that they have by any means scares me more than anything else. We have 27 there on 12, and they're drawing 2 cards a turn with Drug Dealer. Like, what's happening here? Now, the good thing about the Film Critic is even if they deck themselves, it doesn't matter because Obakata. But like, these will run them out of cards, but eventually, like, this is a credit drain, and their economy is like pretty shit right now. Unfortunately, we can't just jam behind the tier because of the DDoS. Let's change with the rules update, I suppose, but I don't think so. Okay, hey, they're doing what we're doing. And these drug dealers are keeping them poor. Like, they clicked to 4, and they're starting their next turn with fucking 1. How shitty is that? That's so unfortunate. By any means, would by any means beat a snare? Or would they take 4 damage? They have critic if they have no cards and you have some knives. Yeah, that's true. Like, we have to really grind them out. But yeah, these Obakatas are usually so safe. Film Critic is a big problem. And you could run Under the Bus. You could run the one where you can do a side game. There's ways to trash resources if you really care. Even Home Run King is good. Home Run Queen, whatever. I think it beats Snare. Okay. BM beats all traps but Psychic Field. And 1 other. Oh, the mystery. Oh, the Dirty Laundering. They got to consider where to go. That's their last DDoS. This thing actually, it's probably better for them than us. Like, we still have to spend a lot of money on it. No further action. So we spend 6. Do we want to go down to 8? Yeah, whatever. Spend 6. Oh, you can't. Oh, this is gonna fire? This fires? They have 1 credit? Oh, that's so good. What's happening? I thought they would DDoS it. If you pay 4 when the runner accesses a snare, so I think it's the same trigger, but yours is not there. So okay, okay. This has good 17s. This is good submentines. Good submentines. Let card move on top of R&D. So what, do we have to arrange them in any order? Oh man, I hate this part. You may draw 1, the runner may pay 2, draw 1. That's fine, I don't care about that. So we'll put hedge fund on top, combine at the bottom, I guess. Ganked is mediocre. We want the ganked in hand. No, not really. Yeah, maybe. Shipment for 10 is good. Okay, whatever. I don't think any of this really matters. That's probably good enough. We probably didn't even want to draw there, I'll be honest. Like, we didn't need to draw there. Oh, they have guinea pig. Whoa. We lost a stim hack, another inside job, and data sucker. He still wasn't brainstorm. Yeah, brainstorm would have been so good. Brainstorm, actually, they might have had the credits to deal with. Oh, 1 credit? Now Kamainu is straight garbage with Ice Carver, because now they break it for free because they'll have enough rituals. Yowza. Oh man. Oh, we also could have considered House of Kniving them. We should have. I also don't think they're playing I've had worse. Yeah, we definitely should have House of Knives. I totally forgot. So they only have 9 more hit points, no recursion. Drug dealer's really gonna put them on it's gonna be hard to dig out of that one. They've already played restricted, so it's not like they're on Levy. Levy rotated, actually. Not making a successful run. We're not gonna have anything to shipment out. Trickster Taka's gonna die because they didn't make a run. Ooh. It's all the drugs and all the friends. It's the bad friends and the drugs. Oh, Taka! I think we'll push this now. I don't think there are expose effects, considering they're not Amakua. I don't think you House of Knives until their dealer draws the rest of your deck. Oh, that's true, actually. You're right. We really don't need to. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry, I built the server. It's right there. Film Critic adds the sting. This looks like it's no Bacata that we're jamming it, so we're wasting 3 clicks. This is considered not a run. It's not a successful run or not an unsuccessful run because the server dissipates, so they don't get the Hoshiko ability. Shipment is still online, which doesn't matter because we know we're not going to draw a 3 advancement agenda. And they have a Devil Charm, so I'm wondering that there's hippos somewhere. Accidental good play. Okay. All right. Oh, it's another one. Value. Yeah, I don't know what else we're doing. We have some big ice to res, so might as well. Okay, that's it. 7 cards in hand. They installed 2 Drug Dealer against Shinteki P. I am so excited for them to do something we're not expecting. Oh, please don't dirty laundry this remote. They are. Oh god, that's so rough. This remote disappears too. They don't get any money. They just spent probably no money because of Mystic, but that's unfortunate. Sorry, oof, oof. Yeah, that's always rough. This used to happen with Jackson Howard back in the day. You would dirty laundry what you hope is not a Jackson, and they would shuffle it away, and you don't get money. Shiko doesn't trigger off a successful run. She triggers off card access. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's true. But at least for the shipment, it matters. And look, they're gonna be clicking for credits, and they're just gonna lose the money every turn. Oh no. I'm going to put this in front of the tier just so that we don't lose to DDoS. I don't want to install this just because it doesn't matter that much. But like, they're losing 2 credits a turn. Hoshiko also, when you deck yourself, like Hoshiko plus Drug Dealer seems like a bit nuts because now in the late game if they run, like they just lose a credit. This ability, I guess they gain 2. I don't know. Yo, Jogging, what's up? How's it going? Yo, this sort of bullshit, I'm not gonna build a remote game is like so fucking frustrating to play against because like installing everything is a wrong play. Day Job, that's just a card out of hand. Speaking out of card, do we even score this? It mills a bunch of our deck. Do we score this? Go or go. I'm go. Hey, don't feel bad for the run. We need to. Last week, show matches for tier done res once today. Product can answer building no remote server. Yeah. It's better on paper. I don't even think we score it. Do we just push the snare? I think we push the snare. This sucks. We score that and score Obo to win, but we can't score Obo to win. They have Film Critic. We basically have to grind them out. If they run this, we win. You do 3 damage. House of Knives prevents runs. You win. We only have 2 damage on here. Oh, this says it's a fair bit of damage, actually. Nah, yeah, maybe we could have scored that. We could have risked a bit of the spoilers. DDoS. Okay, never mind. Okay. Oh, they could put the boomerang back in the deck. This is just for double access with Xer. Actually, we probably should have purged with Xer. The cool thing, though, about Xer is it's bad with Film Critic. Score Sting and ping them twice with House of Knives. Yeah, you're right. Scoring Sting was probably good because it actually does like 3 damage. And we would have won. Yeah, we should 100% could have won right there. Yeah, we fucked up. I forgot Sting does 3 damage. I'm not going to do the side game because we're going to spend 0. They have no cards to draw. Side doesn't matter. In theory, they could spend money if they wanted to. We're robbing them of that value, but yeah, we're definitely gonna ping them here. It's just, yeah, what's up, Plywood, for sure. And it makes it more likely that they will die. Mystic, Gamble, okay. So I think we have 1 snare in the deck. That'd be lethal. And they're accessing 2 cards. Oh, that's the snare. They found it. It was on top of the deck. Hey, thanks for the game. That by any means is wild. Yeah, we definitely could have just won if we shipment this out, because then they would have no cards or 2 cards, and then basically we can ping and they just don't have enough cards to run. Thanks for the game. Recently got back into Dev, not playing last couple months. This deck feels wild. It's totally wild, and we totally would have been fine if we fired. Yeah, Film Critic is like one of the best cards against our deck for sure. And again, we could tech against it. I'm actually not respecting this deck. Got a heck of a lot worse with Adore. Adore is really good against that whole Komainu, especially ganked Komainu. It's not bad against Anansi or Tyr. It's got a lot of stuff. I thought you'd be on Who Shook with all them one casters. You've yet to see that buffer drive. I'm not worried about buffer drive in this deck. Should I be? It seems really slow. I guess we are slow, but like, maybe. I don't know. Andre, are there any good Argus builds right now? Yeah, lots. They're all the same though. They just like run 3 Data Raven, the same agenda package, border controls. Some of them run Surveyors. We played one deck list the week. There was an Argus deck maybe 2-3 weeks ago. They're all like competitive Argus, so it's just been very homogenous. New cards, yeah, pulled this together for GNK last night. Hey, congrats. Oh, also, for Taka, as long as you can run, you can boost your breakers. You don't need ice to do that. Against buffer drivers, you have Prana. 3 credits. That's disappointing. Well, yes and no. Like it's a good deck and it's fun to play. It's sometimes fun to play against. There's just been no reason for anybody to try anything that different, because like the homogenous base list that people have been playing for 2 years is still consistently good, unfortunately. But yeah, it's Argus. It's like, I don't know, play Atlas, play border control. That's Whelan though. A lot of times it's like, even the fucking, like, besides the tag punishment package, the C station decks are almost no different. Hey, cheers. Good to see you again. Welcome back. Yeah, we played against Martini like years ago before. Watch out. Alright, let's do one more. Or Cyan is the new Argus. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I actually haven't played against enough Earth Station decks that are running Tag Punishment. And I think they could. The Argus ability also doesn't matter all the time. I don't know. A lot of those decks are dependent on basically how much Shaper there is because they have answers to some of the biggest threats. Both the fast advance threat they can clot out sometimes and misdirection. I don't know. It's hard, but that deck can just like play pretty mean and quick and can beat up most things. Obviously, it's very good. Everyone just takes a tag. I think that's wrong. I think you always take the net damage. Meat damage, right? Like, okay, against Anarch, taking meat damage a lot of times helps you. You have I've worse, you have Heat Breakers. That shit's great. Against criminals, can be dodgy. Against Shapers, it's fine. You have Recursion. And like, it's not like people are playing C-Source. Now you have a tag, I'll do 2 damage with a high profile target. So the amount of cards you have in hand really doesn't matter. Unless they're on Punitive, but Argus Punitive isn't really a thing. I think if you're doing Punitive, you'd probably rush closer towards Outfit, but maybe I'm wrong. Ooh, Adam is actually really tricky against net damage decks. This hand's definitely keepable. So Adam, having 3 directives, we have safety first, which is pretty great. Get some free card draw, but their hand is going to be tiny, so the hitting the snare is pretty likely early. This is one of the most important ones, is they're going to see the top of R&D. This incentivizes them to run every turn, but obviously we're going to try and ice up everything. And then we have neutralize all threats, which is the double axis, and they have to trash things. So that Prana Condenser, that's just a 4-cut attacks. We can keep this. Hey, thanks. Hey. Thanks so much. You too. All right, so ice placement is important. Ganked is not that good with our hand right now. A lot of times I put on HQ pressure more than R&D pressure, but I think we want the R&D Kakugo just because there's a lot of R&D pressure with Find the Truth. And I think we can just do this, put this on HQ, Hedge Fund. There's a chance that they run HQ really boldly, which against Jinteki is kind of scary, and then we gank them into this for more damage and Snare kills them. That's kind of best thinking. I miss Scorch Earth and Boom. Yeah, you can still play Boom. Scorched Earth, I don't miss. Yo, Martini, what's up? Yeah, of course I'm streaming. Good game, by the way. It's been a while. Logic Bomb, pretty good. Daily Cast, good opening. They drew an RNG key, which is definitely pretty okay. That's honestly a good thing to have. They might start running sometime soon. Putting this on Archives is good because we can always transition and move it later. And they could be threatened or a bit more interested to draw with Logic Bomb. But with RNG key and Find the Truth, we don't want to give them any free runs. Okay, here. Hey, we have it. Buffer Chip, RNG key. Here's some anti-grind tech. 1 card in their hand is Emergent. We could fast advance out here if we had it. We don't have it. Question is where we put the Kakugo. I'm going to put it on HQ. We can always move this around with Thimblerig. I miss them as a dynamic duo murder. Fucking, it wasn't even Boom and Scorched Earth. It was Scorched Earth and Sea Source. And also at some point it was like Boom and, it was Scorched Earth and Traffic Accident, which is a wild time. Ooh, Tier is good. We'll put that on HQ and click for credits. Oh, I meant to say R&D. We'll put that on R&D and click for credits. Huzzah! Jinteki. It's so hard to kill with Boom now. I ran C-Source, close accounts, hard-hitting news into Boom next turn. It worked exactly once. Yeah, Boom is probably just fine with hard-hitting news. Is there a card, am I making it up, that says do double the tags? Is that a real card? I don't think it's a real card. Did you receive the email about the original Netrunner cards? Oh, fuck, no, I haven't checked in a while. I need to check that out. I know you mentioned you would do that. Let me check that out. I don't miss putting Plascrete in every deck. So that was a good thing to do, but Plascrete gave you this cool idea where you're like, fuck it, I'm not playing Plascrete and I hope I don't run into meat damage. And then it was your choice. All right, here we go. They have no tricks, new remote, advance, House of Knives, yay, score. So we hit a Dirty Laundry, and oh yeah, they put it in the bottom of their stack. Excuse me. Threat level alpha. That's just a C-Source though. Does threat level double? I thought it was just a C-Source with no run. Wait, it actually doubles tags? Wait, really? Oh, is it give 1 or double? But it's a terminal. There's no way that was gonna work. Oh, that's garbage. That's not what we wanted. Emergent creativity coming down. This is really powerful. They can play Fem. They can play anything they want. And they're setting up really good. They have the drip. They have the double logic bomb. That's the cool thing about logic bomb. It's a tier. Adori coming down too. That's really good against our deck. And we have another Kaku go. Where does it Kaku go? Ugh. Honestly don't know. But keeping cards in hand, few cards in hand, seems pretty tight because we have a snare in there and we have House of Knives, which can easily be lethal if they commit to access with only 3 cards in hand. And their hand size is true. They have a multi-threader. They have a sure gamble. All this stuff is probably hitting the table. I don't think they want to discard it. And they're just going through their deck. Say what you want about Damon jogging. No, I won't. I won't. It's a clean stream. There's another one with Robot and the Kid in front of it. What? Is there? 3 cards to play in a double. That card is good though, based on like an interactive tag. That seems abstractly important. This server seems good enough. Remember that thing that we do where we don't do anything? Yeah, that's good. But he made tags non-binary. Oh, I see where you're going. Yeah, Damon did some really good things for tags. And I think the rotation of Scorched Earth was really good for tags. But I like the fact that tags are non-binary. I wish psychographics was something that's more playable. I was talking about this recently with people in my meta. But there's almost no way to give people a lot of tags. It's 4 or nothing. Unless people go tag me against like controlling the message or whatever. Well, that's actually good too. Guys, this is not fun, is it? Could they be on Film Critic? I don't think we've seen a restricted card. They probably are. Doesn't double just add 2 tags of tags, so triples if they have 1? Oh, Big Brother, yes. Big Brother was a card that rotated. That was a good card, actually. It was okay. I played it in some decks. It was fun. Ooh, Amina's big. I've been seeing this out of faction a lot. This is a good decoder. Oh, shit, that's good too. Oh, Prana Condenser. Oh, my friends, it's here. It's finally here. But no, we have the shipment from Tenants, so we can't play it. I like the one X Psycho just cuz. But that's only specifically like for CTM. I don't think other tag decks can run one of Psycho. I mean, Boom existing doesn't really make tags non-binary. It's 0-1 or you lose. Sort of. Oh, wait, they can die to this. So the Aiki, they break for 2 and we lose 1. Seems like a bad res. Oh, it's actually very likely they died to this. Not very likely. Somewhat likely. Not unlikely. But they could just bounce here. In fact, they probably are bouncing here. Oh, sorry, that was on me. I had to hit that button. Wow, they trashed a Logic Bomb. Wow. Lost a sure gamble. This we could have actually considered rezzing both of them. I forgot we had 2. And now we're going to action before access. We're gonna do a net damage here, so they die to double snare, and they're gonna see 2 cards. So, and we had a misdirection. It's good to do multiple damage in a turn just so that we get around the buffer chip. And no agendas in here, but they are gonna turn off for shipment, and they have to trash this as well if they hit it, which is kind of okay. Find the truth. Look at the top of R&D. It's important to know that we remember that they know what that's there. RNG guessing 5. Hit a snare. Okay, that's good. No RNG key. Neutralize threats. They also end their turn with a tag. And they hit a shipment from Tenant. Okay, they ended their turn with a tag. That seems massively important to us. Just no respect for snare. All right, chat, what's happening here? That seems like it's important to go. Our money is crap. If only we had Prana. Looks like that's gonna go. I don't know what else. I think we actually just trashed the... I don't know. Do we trash the data folding? I feel like we want to keep 4 credits for this remote. Trash everything? I don't know if it's right. Like they can, I guess RNG key is nowhere near as good as it used to be, but like then the ganked, I guess dies for 3 anyways. I feel like this is fine. I feel like this is fine. Fuck it. Trash safety first? Why? It's gonna mill them. This will single-handedly mill them. Eventually they'll have a huge hand size. I can see that, but it will mill them. And they can't really run now. I guess we have no credits, so like snare isn't a threat. They're gonna have to trash this thing. Everything. Trash folding. They clear the tag. They're gonna have to guess the number. For semi-accessible runner HQ. You may name a number. If you do, reveal the next cards that you access this run. If it has a res cost. So I'm going to res this because then they can't guess 0. I don't know whether you can guess upgrades or not, but it doesn't matter that they see this. They're going to have to trash it anyways. I guess it gives them the choice of what to access first, but we could have considered House of Knivesing them here. But I don't think it changes much. They can't steal Avocado. We also don't have enough credits to like for the one copy that we have of Future Perfect. Ideally, having 2 credits is good. You guess upgrades, so don't res is the play. You can guess upgrades? No, but we should res. Oh, no, but if it's res, they can't reveal it. That's the thing. You res it so they can't reveal it. If it was unres, they could reveal it. Right? Right? Yeah, you can't reveal installed cards. Like resed installed cards. So resing, I think, is right. Big fan of all saying hi. Installed cards cannot be revealed, only exposed. Okay, cool. So it doesn't matter. It can't. You can't reveal installed cards. I don't believe. At least you can't reveal resed installed cards. That part I'm sure of. I don't know if we have anything at 3. Oh, they're floating! Fuck! That's huge! That's really huge, because not only do they get their RNG key value, but they also get their brain chip. Oh man, that's rough. Fuck, that's a really good one. DC change the review. Oh, I don't know anything about that. I gotta look into that. Okay, that's awful. That's terrible. Fuck. Was it really good to trash the data folding? Probably not. And we could have scored that from hand. If I check the cards in R&D or HQ, right? Not the root. It checks the cards you access, though. It doesn't care about in. I thought Aeneas Informant allowed you to reveal res cards. Oh, piss. I'm not sure. They can't steal Obokata, so whatever. I don't have to ping them. Once we get double Kakugo on this remote, like, we're in a pretty good spot. They drew a safety first. Oh, they even have another safety first. Oh, no, it's not. It's just we don't see the card. Okay, I guess... they didn't have to trash this. I guess we're clicking up. We're going to click up to 4 so we get the oboe down. We're obviously throwing that out. And then after, we're going to try and hopefully fast events in. But also, like, preemptiving a snare and shipment is actually pretty reasonable. UFAC21 NanoRMB says you can't use RNG key on installed cards. Okay, good enough for me. Buffer drive to add RNG key. So dedicated processor. Woo! I don't actually think this helps them. Wait, 2 for 4 strength as opposed to 3 for 3? That's not that much better, especially for 3 influence. That's not worth it, is it? Like 3 for 3 is fine. Like, there's no 7 strength sentry you're worried about. There's a 5 strength, but this... Obviously, it's not terrible, but it's not great. I think we're just going to ice up this a bit. I don't know. They have more HQ pressure, and now it's more likely for them to die if they steal a Bacata plus this plus snare. We have some stuff here. Do we res the outermost or the innermost? I think we always res the innermost. No, the outermost is good against... No, I don't think they're on Hippo. It's like 5 influence. But they definitely are on Turning Wheel, so I'm going to res the innermost. I think that's right. And I don't think with 3 clicks left that they're going to Logic Bomb this. So just end the run. I don't know if I said, hey, Jeff. How's it going? 3 kicks left. We don't know what they're drawing anymore. Feels bad. We used to know so much. Gamble, paperclip, restricted card, no film critic. Fuck yeah, feels good. 2 cards in hand, get a free card draw. Hand size is 5, mind you. Actually, credit short is scoring this. That's awkward. Prana Condenser. Not good in this deck. Let's agree on that. MU, they really can't install anything more right now, otherwise their data foldings will fall out, but I don't think they need anything more. A multi-threader actually will counteract the data folding. Tears a 7 strength sentry. Okay. They save 3 credits, but this is 2 credits. Still cost. They have to keep going through it, and they pay money. I don't know. It's not even for the full run. I just like this is an expensive ass card. We'll res 2 cocks. I should not say that. Fire unbroken. Okay, so now they can farm their border control, their turning wheel, which is a legitimate problem, and we still can't score this out. They could run HQ here. We actually can't res this either, but at least if we res the IQ, we don't lose anything. Ooh, I don't even remember what this is. They're making a successful run. They're going to see all their fun product condensers. Oh, shit. It's really important that they don't make a successful run here. Okay, this goes back. Ganked definitely goes back, and we'll put a snare back in. Again, they're on 19 cards. Like, this is a mini drug dealer. Wonder if there's enough NBNIs that no one breaks to make Chief Slee work. Yo, Austin, I was thinking of Chief Slee recently, and it was the same sort of prana condenser ruling. I forget specifically why. I don't want to res any of this. Fuck. This could be really bad for res. If we res this, we can't res the Hokusai. I'd rather res the Hokusai. There's a reason I was thinking of Slee, and I think it's also because what's it called is a lot better right now. That macrophage. So they're access 2 cards. We can't even fire snare. So at least we can make it a bit awkward for the Obokata. So hey, we hit a buffer drive. Actually, that's pretty good. You can recur 1 with the other. So now they access 2 cards. RNG Kigai is 5. Trash the Hokusai, they have to. They hit Obokata. They can't steal it. Because, well, they could. They would die. It'd be a mistake. Sigh. So they can't. Wait. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Weird. Yeah. Yeah. It fired on Hokusai. Eula seems like a gold Slee enabler and gold farmer. I think Eula's okay. Strange. Not sure it should have. You can take 2 cards if you like. When is this fire on axis? Yeah, do that. Totally. Can you draw 2? Manually? And then steal? Are you still in? Are you in the problem? Okay, so my chat is saying that RNG doesn't work on upgrades, but it fizzles it. But that's cool with me. Yo, what up, Aaron? Okay, okay. All right. Access your next card. I'll install it naked. You can go run it. Ah, it's no big deal. I think we're gonna lose this one. Worked correctly. They basically wasted access by resing. Yeah, but they didn't know. Like it's just fucked up. They get fucked up. New remote. It's right there. Go get it. Yeah, so apparently they fucked it up, but this is where you install like a psychic field, am I right? Oh, they don't want it? When are you gonna get a La Banquise as a stream sponsor? Yeah, La Banquise isn't that good. La Banquise is straight up not the best poutine. It's also like really weird. If you go late at night, they force you to pay in cash and before you eat, just because they have so many, I think, problems with drunk people. But it's just not a good poutine. Boo La Banquise. Unfollow? Come on. All right, they're on Game Point, which is a terrifying proposition. Guys, I think we're just gonna click. 12 cards left. So wrong, I cannot tell you this. Yo, like, okay, what's better than La Banquise? Patinville? Fine. The one on the corner next to my sister's house? It's fine. Yikers. The fucking restaurant inside Ubisoft makes a better poutine than La Banquise. You're gonna win Montreal Regionals and start your dominance. So La Banquise is this like 24-hour poutine place that's like, it's huge. It's a really big place. For those who don't know what poutine is, it's like fries with gravy on it, cheese curds, and then at La Banquise there's like, it's like when you go to one of them pizza restaurants, they have like 80 different pizzas for some reason. Imagine that with poutine. It's like, what do you want on it? There's a regular, which just has what we described, and then other ones are like, do you want onion? And hot dogs is like a very popular thing. But like anything, bacon, ground beef, peppers, mushrooms. The places like Patinville have like more weird ones. It's like, oh, this one has mac and cheese in it too. This is like meant to be a pseudo Asian cuisine poutine. Like, it's a fucking thing. Guess you guys arguing about poutine places that's like arguing barbecue joints here. Yeah, sort of. All right, we are not in a good spot. Unless they could die, like they could run HQ and die. We have one more shipment in the deck, but no money. I think that's all that. Garlicky ones? Yeah, Andrew. I don't think I've had garlic poutine, but that's definitely an option, I think. In this country, we call it poutine. The poutine had maple syrup as a standard. I never had a dessert poutine, but it would be terrible. It would be. I also don't like maple syrup. I think maple syrup is bad. Peel poutine and apple curry. Yo, I actually had a really good curry poutine. It was at this like Indian place, and they made it like in a cast iron skillet, and they just gave it to you, and it was good. It was like poutine with cheese curds and gravy, but like a lot of curry spice, and I don't know if there's anything else in it that was specifically good. Maybe a bit of coconut. I don't remember. Why are they running this? It's excessive. Forgot about Peel Pub until now. Yeah, Peel Pub. That's a place. I do love how unsacred poutine is. Just like put whatever on. It'd be great, but that's the thing. It's like it's dealt the same way that like some places do hot dogs. It's like, oh, do you want a hot dog with chili on it? Okay, a hot dog with sauerkraut on it. Fine. And like all that stuff is good. It's the same sort of idea. It's like a base. Like you go to a place, they have 30 pizzas. They do the same thing here with potato. Oh, that's why they're running. Very clever. Very good. Yes. 11 cards. And if we want to do damage, at least we have the double damage to get around buffer drive. But like now the grind is going to be a grind, you know? We really need to get Breach Dome in here. Hope you throw out a fried egg on it. Had some egg on fries in Barcelona and wondered why I'd never done that before. I used to put egg on everything. I don't think I've actually had an egg on pizza. No, I probably have. Egg on pizza also. Really good. I was in Whistler last week and there was a pulled pork poutine. It was excellent. I think I've had pulled pork on poutine a fair bit. Poutine's also a bit harder now because now I don't eat meat. So like I have to ask people what the gravy is made of, and like it upsets people. I don't know. I feel like there's, oh fuck. I did that second click. Whoops. That ends your turn. I was like, 8, go. No, I'll take that credit. Why not res the Thimble Rig to swap it with Kakugo? That's a good point, actually. Yeah, we should. The thing is, we're going to lose money on this, but now at least we have money. So now we can put the Kakugo there. Yeah, that's a good idea. We could have done that start turn, but I guess now it's res. So. 2 logic bombs, too. So it's not like we're going to get them good with that tier. I move away from the mic. I have a friend who moved to Toronto and we went for breakfast and the menu said, poutine your breakfast fries. And she said, I'm so happy to be back somewhere knows poutine is a verb. It is. And yeah, fucking poutine breakfast is good. It's like, oh, do you want to just put gravy and cheese curd on your fry? Yeah, man. gonna have a problem with this. Oh man, I hate that. This is actually gonna be bad because they break this for 2 credits. This is what this deck looks like now that people can play intelligently with buffer drive. And this is like our opponent. Our opponent is playing intelligently. Like a lot of times, this is the right thing to do. Like not interact with the runner, which or the corp, which is a mistake. I think we can forward res everything. I actually don't know the last time I had to put in. I was having too many at lunch because it was an option. And that's just not how you should be living your life. We could easily lose here. It's more than likely we lose here. Potatoes good, gravy good, cheese good. Yeah, and cheese curds also are like specifically interesting. It's the sort of thing that I have no doubt people are fucking up when they're like globally making poutine, just because cheese curds are a bit specific to certain areas. This is the first time, right? Yeah, so they already could have used Ankakugo if they did. All right, so do we lose here? Probably. We got really unlucky that they got the 3-2. RGQ 5, okay. Sting, bad start. Does 2 damage. Snare. Fuck, shit. Game. Well played. So yeah, if we can make this a bit more spiky, and that's the sort of the thing is like, imagine that these were breached domes. You know, like good cards. How much better we would have been. Oh man, it would have been so good. Like they couldn't do that, and then we'd be in an okay place. Maybe they would have closed the game out. I wonder if Prana works at RP with bioethics and urban renewal. Just build up a critical mass of damage. But that's the problem with that. It's like, okay, firstly, that whole archetype is so much harder without hostile infrastructure and House of Knives. I mean Turtlebacks. But on top of that, it's actually just kind of good that instead of doing all that stuff, you do damage to them, right? Like, do you know what's better? It's just like doing damage. You don't need the 3 credits. There were 2 snares in HQ when you're in. Small chance. It could have been lethal. Needed that out. They're really squeaky. They have a good teeth feel. I would kill for some poutine right now. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Ganked Biotic? I don't think so. I think Ganked is really good. And it's fun. Remember that brief glorious time with both Shock and Breach Dome? I don't, because I fucking was scared of the game at that point. I was hoping to get super blooded. I had one more 1-pointer in there and 1 snare. We got a bit unlucky. They couldn't have stolen Obakata, but like, there's only 4 more agendas in the deck. 4 more in. Yeah, we maybe got a bit unfortunate. I miss hostile infrastructure so much. I understand that's a very unpopular opinion. I think it is, Plywood. I think it's like an indefensible opinion to a lot of people. But I think a card like that is important. I like the numbers on it. 5/5 I think is really fair. I think the biggest issue is that people don't like industrial genomics. That card seems a lot better. And also if there was no, what's it called? Breaker Bay. Oh, for sure. How about an offer you can't refuse into a gank server? At that point, it's like you're putting cards into putting cards into putting cards just to get 1 point. And like this deck doesn't need a 1 point. Hey, cheers. So actually, offer you can't refuse is a card I like a fair bit, and I think is a bit underrated. And I actually played this last year and won a store championship with it. And the premise is pretty simple. It was a Plana deck that was running a lot of really, really fucking spiky ice. Like you had 3 DNA, 3 Anansi. It was that kind of time where that was like a really popular thing. And on top of that, you had... Shit, I don't know if I know the name of the upgrade offhand, but it's the one that basically says that once they pass the ice, they approach the ice again. And that's really cool because that deck ran only 3-pointers. And Jinteki has some of the best 3-pointers in the game, right? Like 3 Obakata, 3 TFP, the Future Perfect, which is defensible. And then maybe Food. I don't remember what the last one is. I don't think it was Food. Maybe SSL if that was out at the time. But the idea was that you ran all the 3-pointers, so you didn't have a lot of agendas. And I think the deck might have also had Punitive too. And you ran 2 copies of an offer you can't refuse. And it was very easy to build a point in the game where early game you could offer the can't refuse into into like a shitty Anansi and they couldn't do it, and you get a free point. Or in a late game when you're on 6, they basically had to take you up on every offer or you would win the game. And then you could run them through like Anansi into DNA tracker, and then an upgrade would run them into the DNA tracker again. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Code replicator. And I think that was actually like a pretty solid. Also, Aaron, thanks. That was a pretty solid deck. Like I don't think people saw that card and they're like, oh, this is really spicy and weird. And it's not. It was like back at that point in the time of the game, and still now. Like once you jammed a defensive 5-3 into a remote server and they had to deal with all that shit, they didn't have a lot of money, and it was really easy for you to say, okay, here you go, offer you can't refuse, and it'd be like, well, fuck. The only complication for that card is that you had to make a remote server that didn't end the run. And Thimble Rig does help you set that up if you have a bit of foresight. But the idea is that if they end the run, they're fine. So you have to make sure it was like Anansi into DNA. As soon as there's like an IP block in there, like, I guess IP block is fine if it ends the run because they get a tag, but like it doesn't win you the game, right? Code Replicator is also an interesting card. I think it's been outclassed by other stuff that shows up since. 8 games. It's 11:20. I'm going to play something fast. I think we're just gonna try and play a Whelan Rush deck. I'm gonna try and play SSO, I think. I kind of feel like SSO, but we don't have enough time for another Jinteki deck just because it takes a bit longer. Like a Garen Ask Spam deck also did. It looks very different than everything else, but a 1, whatever DomeCon is. I'm not actually sure what DomeCon is. What's a quick deck we could play? Let's play some fast Whelan. I specifically want to play SSO because I feel like SSO is probably a bit better than I thought than it's been for. It definitely didn't get worse. But maybe with Boomerang it got worse. Maybe SSO got worse. I don't know. Also, if you're tuning in, my name is Andre. How's it going? Fuck. I think that was another piece of feedback I took from watching the other stream. And last week's stream was particularly exciting just because we played some really close games. But the amount of times that I said fuck in like 10 minutes in the last hour of that stream. Yikes. I gotta tone that shit down. I'll say shit instead. That's more marketable. We'll do by date. People like to throw the word degenerate around in Netrunner discussions. That's in response to Baza saying hostile enables so much degenerate nonsense. It's lost a lot of its descriptive impact because of that overuse. I think degenerate has like the ability to be a very powerful descriptive word, but I think, yeah, this seems good. I think what it means still makes a lot of sense. All right, this is just very straightforward. I'm cool with this. Like it still makes a lot of sense. Like something that degenerates the game. It reduces the games to parts that people didn't want to interact with that much. And it maybe simplifies it and like hinges on repetitive actions. That's the way I see it. When someone says degenerate, I don't really think of it degenerate as in like what you're doing inherently is bad and shitty and I hate you. I think it's just like I think spamming friends in high places is just, it degenerates the game. I don't think the person who plays it is a degenerate. I don't think a lot of people think the second. Do a lot of people think the latter, where it's like, oh, I'm calling you degenerate? Because I think it just is like, oh, the game design falls apart under some certain interactions. Feeling win rates. But you're right, there's a lot of words like that that get thrown around that I think people feel strongly about, or like certain people be like, I wish that word wasn't used that often. Like people calling shit cancer all the time. That comes up in a lot of games. And same sort of fucking shit, I swear. Discussions that come around with like degenerate decks and like, I don't know, that's a really shitty word. People have really strong negative feelings attached with that shitty disease that kills a lot of people, unfortunately. Like, fucking hell. Clean up your Jinteki decks? No. It's history. I think that was, yeah, that might have just got a bit too much. I think some people do, yeah. They shouldn't, but okay. Katavad, you're pretty amped to hit the brainstorm. Even Patrick said you're oddly hyped up. Oh, I was working on that deck the whole weekend, and it kind of did its thing there. Yeah, Jason, government takeover transparency initiative SSO. Oh man, that's the sort of thing that we'd have to build ourselves, and unfortunately, we don't have the time right now. But it does seem so funny. Harmony Medtech is fast, no? Harmony Medtech has a chance of being the fastest. I think Harmony Medtech is fascinating. I think the 3 food, 3 future perfect Harmony Medtech deck is still pretty strong. It comes off that way when the phrase is used as a sole dismissal of a card or deck type. Yeah, I see it. I definitely see it. What about your SGDQ deck? I think the last SGDQ or our like speedrunning decks are probably not legal anymore. Yeah, like Liza was the last, and we missed AGDQ. This is SGDQ, and then the one before that was probably a Ken or something that's also not legal. I think the one before that probably hinged on indexing. That would be my guess. But yeah, we can't play Liza anymore. Those decks are really fun. The one before that we did, I think, was Ken. We were consistently winning on like turn 6 and turn 7. It was so cool. But again, I also do think, yeah, it was this one, June. Yeah, that's when SGDQ is. Like, this is not legal, is it? No, I don't think so. When I say degenerate, I mean that there are reasonable and fun ways to use it, and there are terrible ways to use it. If you only ever see the latter, that's degenerate. But wasn't there a fast Whelan one? Almost all the Whelan ones are fast. Like, literally, they rush out. We don't really have a late game. This deck has a bit more of a late game because of Kayambe. Ooh, Omar. I worry that Omar is Apocalypse. And Omar is kind of scary. I think we have to actually... Wow, Omar is actually really terrifying. Hey. The problem with this hand is that we can't protect both servers, right? Like, if we install CityWorks Project, we have to ice it. Otherwise, they steal it for 2 meat damage. And then if we don't ice Archives, we're weak to Apocalypse. But if we don't raise this, we lose it. So I think we could keep this hand and install CityWorks Asteroid Belt and install the Asteroid Belt on Archives, and then don't like just bluff. I think we can keep this. Thanks, you too. This is definitely weak to Apocalypse, and our whole deck is pretty weak to Apocalypse. I don't think we have Chrysium or anything like that. I don't even know if we have border control. Oh, we do. That's good. Oh, we have some scarcity. That's cool. But yeah, this could be rough just because some of our cards are a bit clumsy. This is actually better because we can now afford to have our cake and eat it too, if that's an expression. So we'll ice this one up. Again, weak to DDoS, and we'll put this onto Archives. They can run Centrals the normal way, but whatever. Well, we have to put the 3 advancements on this card just so we can res it for free. Monkey Bonky does weird stuff. I do remember a fair bit playing against Monkey Bonky, and it's always some wild fun stuff. HQ, Batty is the good hit here. They didn't get it. They got the Colossus. Good to know. Colossus. Who main decks Omar? You can take it bad publicity. I honestly, I've seen it before. I've seen some pretty respectable Omar Apocalypse decks. I think this card has some pretty good pressure. It came out in that time where Damon Stone was giving everyone 12 influence. Rip Board of Builder Nations. Okay. Hopefully we're Glacier enough where 1 credit doesn't matter. Oh, that's bad. Well, we didn't get a DDoS, and they didn't do anything, so we're gonna do this one so we can. Where is it? What are SGDQ decks? They were basically to coincide with what was going on in speedrunning with AGDQ or SGDQ, Games Done Quick, the big marathon, charity marathon, Marathon. We tried to make decks that were as quick as possible. All right, cool. So they installed RNG key. So Colossus now has a trigger. They know we have a scarcity. They could be on Hacktivist. There's a chance. We need to ice up and play this at the same time, but that puts too few cards in our hand. We can maybe give them a turn. Unfortunately, we should draw here, which if we draw here, I'm going to be upset that we didn't do it earlier in the turn. Can they get through an Asteroid Belt? No. Okay, whatever. We'll risk it. And we'll put 3 advancement counters on. This doesn't end the run. What does it do? 2 tags? That seems a bit better. Akat's really good when it has extra subs on it. And we want to really double ice one of these centrals so we're not weak to DDoS. But hey, they let us res this, so DDoS doesn't seem as likely anymore. You don't like that play? Yeah, why not? They installed Daily Cast for 5. Feels okay. Black Orchestra in the bin. Mass Comms. Hey, gets money. Mass Comms. Oh, I've been struggling with that card. We have a wall-to-wall, which we could put on the remote. They could go trash it if they really wanted to. It's honestly not that bad. I think we might actually do that. All right. Oh man, this is really good now. So the Black Orchestra gives them some safety. So we can fire the Unbroken subs on this. So basically we just get a credit, choose an installed card to put a counter on. Colossus does get some more ability, and ends the run. Find the truth. Wow. So they're gonna know what we draw. Find the truth, I think, is a definite card we should have played around with Omar. But we can play around this immediately if they don't trash it. Like, we can bounce this to hand. And R&D seems good. Obviously, we have to protect archives as well. So we're going to draw a card first because we can decide. So now it's a choice of us. We'll gain a credit. Place events on token on piece of ice. Obviously, this is a Colossus. We have the punitive. We could actually start a push for scoring here as well. Can't you advance city works with that? No, this is only a piece of ice. Oh, fuck me. I didn't realize that. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was like wall to wall. Very good. Very, very good. Because now you have all Colossus as your innermost in R&D, which is not great if you're expecting Apocalypse. I don't think they're Apocalypse anymore, but I do agree with that fact. This innermost is not good. Trashing the programs is not that valuable. Oh, they're installing through Scarcity. That's really rough. We'll draw a card first. That's good. Gain a credit. Place an advancement token. Okay. All right, well, we basically can score out. We're in no real rush, and we have the punitive kill as well in hand. We can put that there to get some value. I think we can just do advance, and then we'll play one of our econ cards. Oh, shit, excuse me. I did the clicks wrong. I'm good at this. Okay, that's better. There we go. It's good ice. I think advanced city works twice. Mass comms makes more sense than hedge. In SSO, yeah, but I've struggled with this before where if you just draw it early and you don't have ice, or you draw it late, I don't know. I was playing Builder of Nations, which I think is the biggest issue because SSO does advance things regardless of how the game goes. And I'm pretty sure the Scarcity is doing some good work. They installed 6 credits through the Scarcity. Getting another piece of ice here might have been better actually than here, considering we have the punitive in hand. Yeah, probably. They can't break both subs on here, but it's 5 strength too. Like paperclip. Oh my god, it's hard. Ooh, they drew a hippo. That's good. That's a good reason to do this. Let's say that. So now we want to double ice everything. They have an MK Ultra. Okay. So if we draw a card, yeah, I think it's fine. We have a consulting. Okay. Add advancement to a piece of ice. Okay. So I think we just want to try and close the game. Do we have hostiles in this deck? Yeah, okay. So we can do advance. I don't think we really need to. I just don't think we have anything better to do. We'll do it next turn. That's really unfortunate. We could have thrown out one of these cards. I don't think the consulting is that good. And I'm really worried about, they actually can't hippo this because they can't protect, they can't break both subroutines because it's triple advance. And getting this on the table is also really cool because it allows for some cool fast advance plays if it's on the table and advanced thoroughly. That's a hippo. Okay, so hippo threatens basically only these 2 servers, but they actually have to break the ice. And they have access to everything. They can't hippo this, which, right? I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, so this they can't hippo. This they have to break all subroutines, but these 2 are threatened. We'll draw a card. Please, a piece of ice would be good. I don't want to get this hippoed, but, you know, sometimes you have to. We'll put it on R&D. We'll advance this, score it out, and we'll just get this on the table. If they steal this, we probably kill them anyways to a punitive archive punitive. If this gets hippoed, it's how hard is it? It still gets advanced encounters, which is kind of cute. We also don't have to res it. We could just res the big ass inside Colossus because this is only outermost ice. It's not outermost first encountered ice. It's just outermost. So even if you don't res your ice, you're good. Ooh, Stimbat coming in. Oh well, I guess we win. I'm going to fire the Marcus Batty immediately here, just so there's a chance that they don't install their paperclip. I'm pretty sure we can do this. Right? Because this could straight up end the run, so they don't get their paperclip and they just basically take a brain damage. I'm just going to... I guess spending money doesn't matter because they don't actually have money. Nice. Cool. Oh, feels good. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. All right. So now they have to actually come in and spend money. They have 1 bad publicity, and if they steal it, we just punitive them. Then we have to do punitive archive punitive. Ooh, knifed. I I think we just don't res anything and it doesn't matter. I can't figure out a reason why we'd want to do any of this. Yeah, they're dead. They could draw once, and in theory, like, what's it called? Into what's like I've had worse into another I've had worse could be lethal, but I don't think that's gonna happen. All right. So we could have res the Colossus, which would have fired, and they wouldn't have trashed this, but I'm pretty sure we have lethal anyways. All right. So we'll fire one punitive, see how it goes from there. We can draw a card first. Oh wow, we have Former carrying this deck. There's a really cool interaction with this in Kayambe. We haven't hit a Kayambe yet, but there's an interaction there. We don't have the boost. No link, 2 credits. If this lands, we could archive memories for it. Let's just do that. We could also just Consulting Visit. Hey, good game. There's a lot of threats in this deck. I really enjoy decks that have multiple win conditions. We do have Glacier, we do have Rush, and we do have Kill. Their econ just wasn't there. I wonder how bad the scarcity hit. We can kind of tell from their hand, like what they threw out. It's only the Turning Wheel, which is actually kind of hard to use in this deck. We have a lot of punishing face checks. The only ones that weren't were these two, and I guess, or this and the other Asteroid Belt, which we'd have to ice up. All right. Yeah, this is cool. You should be reading their draws to know if they have I've had worse. Oh yeah, it was telling us literally every card they drew because they had Find the Truth. I totally forgot. We could have known that. And we could have done everything fully unless there was a card in their hand that they had since the beginning of the game. SSO tends to make it or break it on the first agenda. 100%. Yeah, I know. That's kind of the SSO being the feast or famine. And I remember playing this deck a lot. And then at the time, people were playing a lot of Gabali and David. And I was like, fuck. If you don't get the first one up, you're in a bad spot. But there's admittedly a lot of stuff that have been printed that helped that thing recently. Like Kayambe Grid, Wall to Wall, all that sort of stuff it's actually a big help. Obviously, your mass comms and your economy kind of shits the bed. But want to advance your agenda? It didn't really matter. We could have. It didn't matter. Like, if they stole, we punitive them, so the less money we spend on it, the better. Yeah. Anyways, I think Advanced City works. Oh, excuse me, that was before. Oh, okay. That's all for us today. I don't think I have any shout-outs specifically. Terrence had a tournament this last weekend. I wonder how it went. I hope it went well. I didn't have time to drop in. We have a GNK here in Montreal on the 29th, which is in like, 2 weeks on a Saturday at the Secret of the Corrigans. Hopefully you can drop by. I'm really excited. Check your email. Yeah, I got to do that. Thank you. Thanks for that. Hey, Martine, thanks for streaming. Thanks for the game. Glad you enjoyed it. Huge shout outs to everybody watching this live, hanging out in chat. Even if you're not like saying stuff in chat, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Those watching the VOD, everyone we played games against, hopefully you're doing well. I'm really excited for Nisei. They now have some new positions they're looking for, and they filled some pretty big positions with some pretty capable candidates. That's largely it on my side. We'll be back next week. We'll try some new decks. We'll play some other side. So sorry that didn't work out. What's it called? The Prana. Maybe we gotta do better. It worked out better in person, huh? Shout out to La Banquise. Fucking never. That's all. We'll be back next week, 9:45. That's largely it.